Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Declan Rawlinson and I'm here at the Rascals Wrestling Academy. I am joined today by the man, the myth, the legend behind the Rascals Academy and the persona known as Rossy Rascal, Ross Goodwin.
A hell of an intro
Nice
as
to have
always.
you here,
I
Ross.
should have brought my blazer. I'm absolutely good.
Oh.
I've been out dressed, absolutely devastated.
Right, so thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
We're just gonna go through. We're gonna go through the day, like the ages. We're gonna go through the beginning, the present, the future. We're gonna touch on a few subjects. I've got it all written down.
I'm all yours. I'm all yours. So for context, I asked you politely if you could interview me to promote the next show. You've taken the bull by the horns and said, no, you're going to sit down. We're going to go all out.
We're going to sit down. We're going to go for a beginning.
I love it. I love it.
Really quickly. Now, obviously, we talked to Ross Goodwin. Now, wrestlers have personas. Now, some wrestlers' personas are completely the opposite of who they are in real life. So my first question basically is, what are the similarities and the differences, if there are any, between Ross Goodwin and Rossy Rascal?
Wow, I can probably ask you the same question as well. I'll get your thoughts on that as well. We'll ping pong. I think as a person, I'm in a position where I can give back, and I say this all the time, so it's almost like buzzwords, but I have lived my dreams. I've achieved everything that I initially wanted. Obviously, I've set more since, but I initially set out to achieve some goals and some dreams. I'm very fortunate to have done that. We have a space, of course, off camera, with our space is just there, our wrestling ring, our judo mats. So I'm in a strong position where I can give back. And I use wrestling now as a platform where I can portray a superhero, for example, mainly when I'm booked as a good guy, and I can, pass that inspiration on, that hope on. And if children want to wrestle, great, they have that inspiration. Or we encourage children just to be good people. So I try and make the character cool to children, where good guys can be cool too, because obviously there was an era where it was the bad guys were the cool ones, and we went through that.
Yeah.
But I want them to show that it's actually cooler and better in real life to be a good guy.
So is Rossy Rascal's a good guy to children?
The persona?
The persona?
Absolutely.
Is Ross Goodwin just the same?
You tell me.
No, I think you're pretty nice. I think you're a good guy. You know
I
what
appreciate
I mean?
it. No, I appreciate it. No, absolutely. If I'm not a good guy, I want to be a good guy.
Yeah.
So that's, obviously, I'm a villain in a lot of people's stories, but that's their own prerogative. That's their own...
We'll get to that later.
Exactly. But I want to be a good guy. I've tried my best to be a good guy, and that's the way it goes. You know what I mean? Like you said, I'm blessed to have a lot of good things happening. I'm blessed to have achieved some really cool stuff. I can just pass it on now, and that's the fun of it. I can pass it on. I can help people. But when you've been around the academy, so you see the magic that it brings. But I'm here 7 days a week, so it's constantly a good day, a good day, a good day, a good evening. Or there's times where I'm like, oh, I can't wait for it to be the evening to start these classes. So you're around it, quite often.
Yeah.
I'm around it every day, and it's magical.
To be fair, personally, I see Rossy Rascal in the ring, and then I see Ross Goodwin, my coach, and I'd say it's not that different.
Fair enough.
Same person, same mentality, Superman to a lot of people. So thanks for answering that question. But Ross Goodwin, obviously you're very confident, you've got a good persona, you've got everything going for you at the minute. But to the beginning, did you grow up in Blackpool? What schools did you go to? What was your life like before Rossy Rascal?
To be honest, it's hard to, even though I've been in the wrestling game, 5 years, maybe 6, if you include the lockdown era, it's hard to actually remember before that, because I'm so immersed in this world now of the community, the academy, the wrestling stuff. It's so hard to actually think of the time before that. But again, if you go right back down to the beginning, I just didn't even blend in. I was just there. Do you know what I mean? So there was nothing. I was overweight, ridiculously shy, no friends in school, only down to I didn't have the ability to make friends. So it wasn't like a bully thing or anything. It's just I didn't have the ability to talk. I didn't have the ability to make friends.
Yeah.
So, but that wasn't a thing that bothered me. I just kind of did my own thing. Do you know what I mean? But then I lacked the social skills, the communication skills growing up through high school and onwards, because I didn't have them friendships and that camaraderie and stuff, obviously. Yeah. So that's pretty much how it started. Primary school just kind of coasted through, but that's when I started initially liking wrestling. I was like 10 years old. I was introduced to the wrestling stickers. And I just thought, wow, they're cool. What are these guys? Like superhuman people on stickers.
I used to love the stickers.
So we collected them, and that's when I started like being, well, who are these? What are these guys? Where can I find them? You know, what TV station, which was very rare back then to find them.
Yeah, very rare.
So I drifted in and out, but then it was down to a promise that I took too seriously, where me and my friends said, we're going to be pro wrestlers. And I took that too literally.
Yeah.
And then I never looked back, so from 10, that's what I wanted to do.
Oftentimes, I personally, me and my friends, when I was a teenager, I wanted to be a wrestler. Specifically, me and my friend wanted to be a tag team champions.
Yeah.
Now, it might have took me 25 years, but you helped me bring that dream to life, and I have now been a tag team champion. So that was
exactly.
one of the bucket list there.
It's a great feeling,
yeah,
though, isn't it? It's a great feeling, and like you get to a point where, because obviously as a kid you have people that are saying, "Oh, that's silly what you do. It's fake. It's this. It's that."
You get it now.
Of course, but the thing is, though, you're at the stage where I'm at the stage where we don't want to prove people wrong. We prove our support right.
Yeah.
And that's a greater feeling. So there's never, when I win nice, lovely things or do nice things, it's never, haha, F you for all the doubters. Never. It's thank you for supporting me, and it's giving my time to the people that matter the most.
Yeah, so really, obviously, like you said, you weren't that confident growing up.
Not
you didn't have many friends. So you're giving children that opportunity to have what you didn't have.
Yeah,
when you was younger.
If you want to go really deep with it, I reckon that is. Because I'm very, you've seen me, I'm very present, very forward, where I don't actually reflect or look back. But you could get deep with that. I wouldn't even, not many friends, I had no friends. Not shy, I was the shy kid. I had no confidence, very overweight. So it was, but the thing is, like I said, it never bothered me, so I never saw it as a challenge, or I never saw it as, what's the word, negative. I just never did. I was just so in my own world with the wrestling and that. I never actually seen it as a bad thing.
Well, you're giving a lot of children the confidence that, like, we'll touch on it later, but like the shows they get to do,
it's cool,
confidence building, it's really cool.
Cool.
Now, what came first, wrestling or judo?
I thought he was going to say the chicken or the egg. I thought, great, you've exposed my I was going to say my academic skills, I guess, is what it is. That's obviously didn't go to school. What came first, judo or wrestling? So the desire to wrestle was there as a 10-year-old. So judo was a happy accident. So basically, I was like, okay, I want to wrestle. How do I do it? And my mum, bless her, she was a young mum. You know, she was very supportive, but didn't get it.
Yeah.
She was trying her best, but she was like, right, Ross, come on, let's get serious with what we're going to do. But she still took that risk and said, right, we'll find a wrestling school.
Yeah.
Found a wrestling school-ish, or a guy in the area that did wrestling, approached him, and this is where this place is special, because I said, well, I didn't say, she said on my behalf, my son would like to wrestle, he's 14 years old, 13 years old, forgive me, and he said he's too young. So already, exactly, see what we've created already. So he said, oh, he's too young, but he should do judo. And I didn't know what judo was. I thought, I didn't even know what it was. So you'd think that was the story. It's not, because it took me 6 months to take a deep breath and actually turn up to judo. Turned up to judo, out of shape, nothing to offer, no athleticism, no...
13 years old.
13 years old, very out of shape, no athletic qualities, nothing. I think it was I can't remember if it was my mum or dad that spoke on my behalf. I couldn't even go in and say, hello, I want to start judo.
Yeah.
So they took a chance. They were like, well, you're a bit too big for the kids, but obviously you're 13, so for the adults. So we'll just do a little bit after the kids class and maybe do a bit with the adults. So the guy took a chance on me, which is a real deep story in, like, is it philosophy and things? Like, a lot of his lessons I still coach today.
Yeah.
What a wise man he was. He really was. Bearing in mind, it might pop up later, I didn't have the skill to read yet. I actually learned to read when I was 20, 21. So, but again, it didn't bother me because I didn't feel like I needed it. I was so in my own world. It wasn't a skill that I thought I relied on.
So are you dyslexic or anything like that? Or?
Probably, but I don't know.
Yeah. Because I'm dyslexic, so I don't like to read full stop.
I'm probably a lot of things, but I don't care.
Yeah?
I don't care. So that's why we accept everyone, because I probably got letters A to Z.
Yeah.
A bit of dyslexia, but no, I don't care.
Yeah.
So I probably am.
I think once you teach the children to, like, because I'm dyslexic, I've got ADHD, and that hindered me for a long time growing up.
Yeah.
And once I got to the point, around the time starting here, that I was around these people that you brought together, I stopped caring. I was like, this is me.
So
like me or not, this is me.
Then.
Yeah, it took me a very long... I'm 34 now. It took me...
Would you say you suffered or struggled, or a bit of both?
A bit of both. I scared as a kid, scared to read. Even now, I'm petrified of reading.
Yeah.
but I don't let it bother me as much, and that's part of being here
With
with these people, with you, and that's what I mean. It's such a special place for people of all ages.
It's magical, like you said. That's the thing. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I think it's just a skill I never learned.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But anyway, we went off that tangent.
Yeah, we did the judo journey.
The judo coach, the very wise man, of course, he took a chance and said, yes, let's get involved. We did a bit. And then there was a moment, this is what I loved, because on reflection, I get everything he said, but at the time, I didn't have a clue. So there was a time where I arrived early, went to the locker room, and bearing in mind, another one, I was a very poor kid. As in, very poor.
Yeah.
There was loads of loose change on the side, probably about £5 worth. I thought, oh, that's strange. So I said to the coach, excuse me, there's a load of money on the side. And he went, oh, thank you. Why didn't you take it? I said, it's not mine to take, sir. And he said, okay, fair enough. I now know he planted that there to see what type of person I was.
Is that what you did today with them? Because there was 20.
No.
There was a couple of guys today down there.
No, that actually wasn't. That was 26p. You can see, yeah, I'm still that
Passing
poor
on
kid.
that message.
I'm still that poor kid. No, not at all. But at the time, I was just like, no, it's not mine to take.
Yeah.
Like, no. But then I didn't realise, and he's done loads of them over the years. He coached me as a kid, but I didn't know at the time. So it was just, he was testing my character from day one, and then he went, yeah, I like this kid. And then we can fast forward where I got my black belt, knocked on his door and said, thank you, sir, I'm a black belt. And then I said, why did you allow me to take part in judo, where as soon as I joined, you turned people away? And he gave me the crappiest answer ever. He says, well, look at you now. I was like, you couldn't have known that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like...
You do think, I couldn't have known that.
I was like, no,
then.
you couldn't have known that. But there's loads of... I can do a whole segment on
we'll see. That's
stuff I've learned.
Like I said, today we're gonna dive in, not too deep.
But the best lesson in terms of what I
enough.
passed on here was he took a chance on me.
Yeah.
It definitely paid off. So I never turn anybody down because of that. So regardless of their athletic qualities, their abilities, their disabilities, their what I might know they've got up to on the outside, I don't judge.
Yeah.
I'm wary of it.
Yeah, obviously
I don't
you have
judge.
to be.
So anybody that wants an opportunity here, they get one based on the fact that they took a chance on the overweight, shy kid that had nothing to offer.
That definitely could be a story in itself about that journey.
Absolutely.
But judo into wrestling, how did that come along? Where did that come from?
I actually started to enjoy judo more. Judo became life, where I was competing every weekend, and it's all I knew. I was just a fighting kid. The way I was trained here was in judo, was very old school. You wouldn't get away with that type of training now. It was very old school training. I was like the youngest in the adult class by far, getting strangled out every night. It sucked. But it made me resilient, strong, perseverance, all these big words, to where I'm now fortunate enough to run my own judo academy. But that's where it came from. So I just took judo on, and I thought that was my life now. And then I was like, no, I need to be a wrestler still. That was always there.
Yeah.
So I was dipping in and out of the odd little wrestling project here and there, but nothing stuck because of the judo side of things. Yeah. When I eventually got out of judo, it was very weird because it was like, it's gonna sound, I can't think of an analogy apart from, I don't know, I guess when Bane saw the light.
Yeah.
I was like, bloody hell, there's more to life than darkness.
Yeah.
So when I stopped doing judo, that's when I became more quirky. That's when I felt like I was more myself. Because in judo, I was a very aggressive fighter. I'd shave my head, slit my eyebrow. I didn't care about hurting people.
Yeah.
In fact, I wanted to hurt them just so I'd win quicker. I genuinely... Because I went on a mad losing streak in judo where I just went, nah, no more. And I purposely said I'm never losing again and went down that route. But when I kind of slowed down with judo, that's where my quirks came in. That's where I could just be myself and everything was new. So I felt like a big kid, as obviously I'm described here, because everything's new. I went from a kid that was training literally 7 days a week, twice a day, competing every weekend, to then seeing new things. Literally as crazy as experiencing restaurants, going abroad, learning to read. So everything was just big and exciting. Yeah. And that, you know what I mean?
So, yeah, I can relate to that.
So that's the best way to describe it. Everything was just new, so that's why I do act like a big kid when I, see things and stuff. It's cool.
I can understand that because like I said, when I was a kid, dyslexic, didn't really have many friends. I got into Thai boxing. Awesome. And I became a very centered. Yeah. No, didn't take no rubbish from anybody kind of thing. And once I came out of that, I went through a stage where I was just very inclusive. And then wrestling, finally you can be yourself around people that like the same thing. It's mad how a lot of people go, wrestling's the F word, it's fake.
Yeah.
But it's more than just, we're just going to do a wrestling match. It's family, it's community.
I think it's the most real thing ever because you are real, you know what I mean? It exposes you as the real person you are, whether it's good, bad or indifferent.
Exactly.
And you can be yourself. And it's one of them where wrestling, amongst every other sport, every sport in the world, you have to fit in, you have to be part of a team. Wrestling, you are part of a team,
Yeah.
you're supposed to stand out. You're born to stand out. And you stand out by being yourself.
Exactly.
So wrestling is so powerful, even though it's fake or whatever buzzword people want to use. It's not. It's actually more real than anything else in this world.
So, Ross Goodwin, judo.
It's weird saying that. I'm
Yeah,
not used to being called.
Weird. I feel weird saying it.
Everyone calls me Rascal,
Well,
so
that's
it's
what
proper weird.
I'm getting into that now.
My
So
God.
Ross Goodwin, black belt, judo, transitions into wrestling.
Hell yeah.
Where did Rossy Rascal come from?
Because I'm stuck with it forever. I'm stuck with it forever.
No one calls you Ross. Like so people do call you Ross, but they don't say Ross Goodwin. It's either Ross, Rossy, Rascal.
Very rarely people call me Ross, like to the point where I keep forgetting it's my name. The Americans call me Rossy. Hey Rossy. Every time they call me Rossy. And then Rascal is just what everybody calls me now. Like
Where did it come from? Rossy Rascal. Where did that name? Did you come up with it? Did someone else?
I wish someone else did, but no, I was the one that came up with. So, I was a part of an 8-week program. You get 8 weeks training, and you're gifted a match. So it's like a white collar boxing, like a white collar MMA.
Yeah.
So it's white collar wrestling. So it was 8 weeks training. I'm that typical kid where it was the night before my match.
Yeah.
I don't have a name, don't have music. I'm panicking. Oh, I need a name. But I don't want it to be my real name. I want it to be like Stone Cold or The Rock. Rossy Rascal. So a part of me was thinking Rossy something, Rossy something, Rossy something. Just that was in my head.
Yeah.
I was listening to Dizzy Rascal. That's it. That is what you get.
It's just a Ross.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
But I was also studying because I was like, how'd you come through the curtain? Like, so I was studying baby faces, how they come through the curtain. And there was a wrestler with the Dizzy Rascal song, and I was just watching him, and he's like full of energy, and I was like, right, I'll give it that.
Yeah.
But Rossy Rascal, which I think at the time sucked, but it works, it's alliteration. Rolls off the tongue, it's easy to chant. I actually get how by mistake it's actually turned into a good name. And now, Rascal's a brand.
Yeah.
Like what we've done with the Rascal name and the Rascal Army, it's bloody glad, because there's some promoters out there that try to change my name, especially when I think NXT era kind of brought everyone's real names up.
Yeah.
So they tried to change my name, which you'll laugh at if you want to come on that later, but...
What did they want to change it to?
Ross Goodyear. And you know what I said? This was the first time in wrestling. Like, normally I'm like, you know, I try and see the good in people.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, this is the first time you can edit this. I said, fuck off.
We'll bleep that out.
I was like, no. And then I'm glad I stuck to my guns, I really am, because that was before the Rascal kind of built up as a thing. So I'm really, really proud of myself for like, especially so early in the wrestling career, because most times you do have to say yes sir, no sir, for big bad sport. So I'm really proud I stuck to my persona, and it's, like I said, it's easy to chant, it's kid friendly, which again is an accident as well. But it was a panic, I panicked, I didn't have a name, Rossy Rascal, and I was embarrassed every time they announced it. Genuinely, every time I heard it, I was embarrassed.
Now it's a very well-known name within indie wrestling.
I know, yeah.
it's funny how, but as well, the colours. I want to ask you about the colours. Obviously, blue, yellow. You also have white ring gear. How did you pick it? Obviously, there's red, there's black, there's purple. Like, how did you come up with blue, yellow?
I'm impressed that you noticed that much to where it's significant. I'm very impressed. Again, and everything. So you'll find everything in my life, everything in my career is an accident. So the blue and yellow. I'd love to tell you a great story how blue is this and yellow is this. So basically, when I was fortunate to have my own judo academy, we got funding for judo mats. And judo mats were typically like green and red. Like red was like the danger zone, green was the safe zone, whatever. And the guy rang me up and went, Ross, what colour do you want your judo mats? And I went, green and red. He went, you can have any colour you want. I went, I didn't know this was a thing. What colours have you got? Purple, green. I was like, whoa, I didn't know that was a thing. And so I went for blue and yellow, and I don't know why. I'm guessing they were my favourite colours, I don't know. But I went for blue and yellow, and then when they arrived, I thought, that's cool, sea and sand, and I was making stuff up just to make it cooler. But now the blue and yellow is actually symbolic, because you sing what we do with the hearts as an emoji, which that has a deeper meaning, by the way. But long story short, blue to our kids, to our community, symbolises trust, calmness, togetherness, you know, stuff like that. The yellow symbolises positivity, friendship, happiness. So they are nice colours that calm people down. And people feel safe and protected. So what you see online is sometimes you might message me and my only response is blue and yellow heart.
Yeah.
It's an acknowledgement. But when I comment it on socials as well, it's an acknowledgement of just to say, I support you, I respect you, we are there for you. It's like a bat symbol.
Yeah.
When you see the bat symbol, you know you're going to be safe.
Yeah.
So the blue and yellow heart is, I'm with you, I support you. If someone's had a bad day, blue and yellow heart.
But it's because like you see when anyone within the academy comments, they'll put the blue and yellow hearts as well, which
but that's just happened naturally.
Yeah.
Like, that's just happened like, oh, that's his sign off. But everyone started signing off.
And like you said as well, sea and sand. We're in Blackpool.
Happy accident.
The seaside. Isn't it?
I think again, like, because my wrestling colours didn't start blue and yellow-ish. I think they started like just blue. And then when I got like my logo on my backside, because that's a trick in wrestling. Get your name on your backside, people will see it more. It was just a blue and yellow, and then I just noticed, hang on, everything's blue and yellow. I didn't realise. Now obviously it's a point that everything has to be blue and yellow. But again, happy accident. It was just subliminal. I must have just seen blue and yellow all the time. And just ran with it.
It's blue and
the
yellow
white
is
gear,
everything now. And I was going to say that you have white gear as well.
The white gear was for freshening it up, and it's symbolic. So after lockdown, obviously people have clocked on, so it's different now. Every time I wore white gear when it was a main event match, I lost. So I was doing very symbolic things that I know two of them at the top of my head, but there was loads. But it's different now because people clocked onto it.
Yeah.
But every time I wore the white gear in a main event, I'd lose.
So because you don't want to be able to clock onto that.
But when they did, I obviously just changed it and messed with it. There was another one as well which I'm gonna have to change, because there was one where if, let's say we're wrestling for a title, let's say it's a vacant title. We know how wrestling works. If I'm told beforehand that I'm winning that belt, I will not touch it. If you're told you're winning the belt, I will pick it up and get photographs with it left, right and centre.
Yeah.
But then someone's clocked onto it, because they said, they were probably guessing, but it's enough now, and plus I just exposed it.
Yeah.
When we did the press conference for this,
I
did not touch that belt at all. At all.
Yeah.
And I'm very super, even when we, like, back in the days of my old promotions, stuff like that, even when they said, Ross, can you carry the belt to the, to the show? I would not touch a belt until I earn it. That was always my thing. Now I'm going to have to throw everybody off the scent. I'll be picking up belts. But you have to be smart. Yeah. Because you're very good at this. You ran with that title. You were given a tag team title at Bolton. And I'm very proud as a coach to say you were remarkable with that. You took it everywhere. You promoted. I was jealous that our logo wasn't on it, because it was everywhere. But what I do now is, if I wrestle on a show, let's say it's me versus you, you're the champion. Or let's say we're in a tag. You're the champion, we're baby faces, we just beat the heels. I will give you your belt back, because I will make sure I get a photo with it. Yeah. Because then I'll post on socials just something, and people go, oh my God, is Ross the champion now? Remember when the only picture I posted after the showcase was Mickey Barnes with the belt? And you thought, oh my God, Mickey Barnes just won the belt. Yeah.
It gives that talk, that rumour sometimes.
People can steal that now, because they're already stealing my stuff anyway. Everyone's writing the same stuff on socials now. They're stealing all my buzzwords. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm flattered, but that's the thing.
We'll get to taking titles.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to taking titles in a bit.
But that's the thing. I always get a picture with the back.
Yeah. But I get a picture with the Rascal belt. My profile picture on Facebook at the minute is me holding that belt.
Every time.
I'm not the champion, but people see it and go, he's got a title.
Well, guess what we're doing right now? We're having an interview.
The titles are there.
The titles are there.
That could be yours, that could be mine. You never know.
It's smart.
So back to, obviously you said you started wrestling by doing, is it an 8-week
white collar program? Yeah.
Who was that with?
It was with a promotion in Preston.
Am I gonna have to say it?
You can say what you want.
Right,
we can bleep it out.
You started with a promotion in Preston.
Yes.
Preston Championship Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like? That white, because obviously white collar to a boxing and stuff is probably a little bit different. Like the fitness side of it, completely the same. Yeah. But obviously you're about to get your head punched off in boxing. Yeah. What was it like training to be a wrestler?
First of all, it's actually Pro Championship Wrestling. They've rebranded since, because obviously you need to get your name out. Yeah. But it's Pro Championship Wrestling. It was different, but I had a fast track because I'm fresh out of judo training camps. So I was young, athletic as hell. Like, you name it, I was creator wrestler. Yeah. I was a mould of clay, just a generic, blonde hair at the time, just in shape, athletic as hell.
2K14.
So every coach saw me and went, potential. Danny Hope was the coach.
No, okay.
Danny Hope was the coach, and his patience as a coach was phenomenal. There was coaches at their academy in their regular classes, but he was the white collar coach.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but I didn't realise at the time, but I could do the fundamental. I picked it up quicker.
Yeah.
Because I was fundamentally sound, my reactions were better from having the judo background.
Yeah.
But I never actually applied the judo at all early days, because in my head I thought you have to learn wrestling. But there was someone, which I'm proud to mention very soon, told me, you need to start doing your judo in your wrestling matches.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I thought I had to learn how to wrestle. No, you don't. Just do your judo. You do not need to learn how to wrestle. Obviously, craft-wise, I was training my backside off. I took it seriously. Fresh out of judo camps, remember? I'm used to training twice a day, 3 times a day. So my effort, hard work, home studies, you name it. I was getting one-to-one private sessions. I was just smashing the wrestling training. But yeah, the 8-week program, Danny Hope is my coach, God bless him. He was the one that encouraged me to carry on as well. I was actually going to be one and done. That was the plan.
Yeah.
Go back into the judo world, because I just wanted to fulfill that moment of being a wrestler, but that's how it started.
You want to fulfill that goal.
That was my goal. My only goal was, at the time, was I want to be a professional wrestler, because remember, as an out-of-shape, shy 14-year-old, where British wrestling wasn't really heard of, there was definitely not as much wrestling schools as they are now, especially for kids. We got the blueprint for that. Do you know what I mean? So to even make it as a wrestler in my head was the pinnacle.
It kind of sets you off, doesn't it? Like when I started eventually doing it, you know, my first goal was I wanted to wrestle in front of my kids. Like I started taking my kids to pro shows, pro indie shows. I saw the way they looked at the wrestlers. I wanted to be that superhero. Yeah. I came to you. Yeah. I want to do this. We did it, and then I was like, I want to do more. I want to do more, and it kind of builds from there, and your bucket list just starts building and building and building.
But it was a beautiful, because I witnessed you do that, and I witnessed your reactions of the kids, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment, and that's why I enjoy giving moments like that, because selfishly I enjoy them moments, like seeing the kids, your kids in particular, light up, going, oh my god, that's mad, because it was a surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah,
they didn't know you were going to wrestle. So it was just a beautiful moment. But that was kind of me. I was like, wow, I've done it. I'm a wrestler. Yeah, how cool am I? And then I was just going to fade off into the sunset. First match was T-Bone. So yeah, exactly. So the standard was already high. Like, I thought that was wrestling. Yeah. So already it's paid off. The standard was already high.
Ex-WWE NXT, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was. This was before that, but he was for that company the world. No, not the world. The heavyweight champion and the tag champion.
At the same time.
Same time.
Oh, and that was your first match.
Main event.
So already you get thrown into the deep.
Main event against T-Bone. He was holding 2 championship titles at the same time. Who the hell's this Rascal kid?
Yeah. So you stayed with the company for
not quite. So one of the I don't know if they know this, but one of the best things that's ever been said to me was after my first match. Danny Hope came straight up to me. Can I swear on this? Because I'm gonna have to say.
We'll just bleep it. We'll bleep the swear words.
So basically, Danny Hope just ran up to me again, being my coach for a reason, and says, "Joey effing loves you." And I just looked him in the eyes and went, Joey knows who I am. Of course, Joey Hayes.
Yeah.
I went, Joey knows who I am.
No, but I've had that same reaction. When I had my match at Bolton, Joey came up to me afterwards and went, for your second match, you smashed it. And I was like, oh my god, Joey Hayes
cool,
just said that.
It's cool, but Danny and Joey's personalities have helped me a lot, because British wrestling, especially today, there's a lot of stigma in it now, because there's a lot of jealousy, you know.
Yeah, obviously, 100%.
It's not even sad anymore. It's just okay. Well, Joey and Danny are great, like great people, not just wrestlers. The cool one was as well. There was a moment where I've left the arena or wherever we competed at, and I'm walking with my family, buzzing. Oh my god, I've just wrestled T-Bone, and I'm literally telling them, oh, Danny Hope said this, that, and the crazy thing is, Danny Hope just like pulled alongside. So if I slagged him off, he would have heard it. But I was obviously saying, I was like, my god, this is great, because I used to watch Danny, Joey, you CJs. I used to watch these guys, and now idols become rivals. Yeah. Which is phenomenal. So that's how it worked. I drifted off. There was another 8-week collar program. I jumped onto that. Yeah. That was going to be another one and done. I just wanted another taste. Greg Lambert was the guy, he was the booker at the time. He called me back to do the Rumble the next night, and then I just stayed.
You stayed?
I just stayed.
What titles did you win in that company?
World Cruiserweight Championship, and they build it as... So this is where I've set a trend, because a lot of people are now saying World Champion. I set that trend in a way because I knew it was a World Championship. It's been defended in the United States and Canada. So I was like, that's a world title to me. But I started using it. This is a world championship. Graham, the announcer, you announced it as a world championship. So I was a cruiserweight world champion. I can't think what else he had. I've won other belts with other companies around that time. But like I said, at the end of the day, the most important championship of British wrestling
right there.
is on our table.
That one there.
Because that's not just a weight of a company, that's not just the weight of people that look up to you.
Yeah.
That's the heritage of the past of a town that I'm proud of. That's the heritage of the wrestling royalty, and that's the future of what we do. Yeah. So when you talk about pressure on your shoulders, that's one of the.
We're gonna get to that title later on.
There you go. It's a beautiful time.
I just wanted to, as well. Said company. I know you was in a title match for the world title.
The reason I just want to explain, the reason I'm not mentioning this company, I'm not doing it for kicks and jokes, is I don't want to glorify them on our platform.
Yeah. I understand.
I don't want to. This isn't a slagging off contest.
No.
It's just down to. I'm not even going to go there, to be honest. I'm over it. Do you know what I mean?
I
don't want to glorify bad people on my platform.
But you deserve a side to your story. Everyone deserves that. Every story has two sides. But I want to talk about this because I enjoyed this one. I enjoyed this one.
I'm all yours.
Now, obviously, everyone who likes wrestling knows WWE. They know the whole CM Punk storyline where he won the title, or he just took the title and he left. Now, you replicated that kind of build-up when you had a fantastic match against Philip Michael. Great match.
Cinema.
You took the title and you left.
Yeah.
And you came and brought it here. Now, was that planned or was that just completely on the fly? Because that was a great story, great moment. Smashed it.
I think I knew that was my last match because in terms of dates I've agreed, that was my last one. And I was unhappy there for about 1.5 years, 2 years. There was even a moment where I texted Graham like way back like a year ago and said, Graham, give me a reason to show up. And he did the usual, well, you're Rossy Rascal, everybody looks up to you, and I went, right, I'll turn up. But it got to the point where even the kids were seeing it.
Yeah.
Because I tried, for ages I was sheltering like bad stuff away from the kids, but then I've learned, no, be vulnerable. So the kids now have seen me happy, sad, they've seen me cry, they've seen me when I'm angry, they've seen me when I'm stressed, and I think that's important. So they've seen me as the ultimate superhero. Yeah. I'm very fortunate, I've had a lot of success in the last month, which is crazy. But they've also seen me where it's become a bit overwhelming. Like, kids, I'm a bit overwhelmed here, like I'm taking too much on, or I need, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So they've seen every side of me, which is cool. I've forgotten the bloody question.
No, it's that's whole storyline of you taking the title. Was it planned? Was it not planned?
So I knew that was my last date because I just wanted it gone.
Yeah.
But I never really told him that. I never told anybody because it was just like, mate. Again, I'm not. Yeah, fuck him. The promoter bullies his trainees. Yeah. And he slags off children, and I don't understand why. No. Like, we could work together. Like, you know what I mean? Anybody can work together, and that's what we do. Everybody was it a rising tide lifts all ships? But they were never interested in that, and we weren't doing pro wrestling here. We were doing kids wrestling. Yeah. And people weren't appreciating it, and it was like, right, fine, that's okay. So anyway, the match. Me and Philip had a real good story going on. We've wrestled loads of times, and this is where again they were saying like cruiserweight titles and mid-card titles. Every time I wrestled, it was a main event.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't say just because it's a weight class that it's this on the card. Because every time I wrestled and defended that cruiserweight title or wrestled for it, main event.
Yeah.
So, because even Graham said, when I won the cruiserweight, you want to go for the big one? It's like, no, this is the big one.
Yeah.
This is a world title.
I made this big one.
Great, this is the world title. It's main evented the last few shows. What are you talking about? Anyway, so we went into it and they pitched to me that you are going to lose in your hometown because that's the obvious thing is you're going to win. Yeah. So you're going to lose, you're going to turn heel, and then you'll win it at Christmas. I was like, okay, I don't give two fucks about winning this. Because to me, at that point, I was so done, like so exhausted, so just done, where I was like, I'd rather just have a Happy Meal toy than that title. Yeah. But anyway, so we did a thing where, okay, cool. My family were there, I brought the Rascal Army. They still didn't appreciate it because on their social posts it's like, oh yeah, we had like 80% of fans outside of Blackpool. It's like, no, 80% of fans were the Rascal Army. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and then he'd say, oh, I've done well on tickets last minute. I'm like, no, I've just brought 100 people to your show. We can go on all day, but I don't even think about that anymore. Like, we've got something special. So anyway, I cracked Philip with the title, and we created a special moment where even though I turned heel, the kids got in the ring and celebrated. You never get that. Because that's a heel thing to do.
Yeah,
So the kids were so fed up themselves that they didn't even see me as a bad guy. No. They saw me as a guy that stood up for myself and stood up against that stigma of wrestling where they got in the ring and were like, "You're our hero." And I was like, "Oh wow, this is quite cool." So I did the usual Rascal pose, but I'm in heel mode. It got some badass content because I've recycled that content like all year. Badass content of just coldness of holding this belt. And then I thought, right, I'm just going to leave.
So that weren't planned?
No, I just left the building.
You just left the...
I didn't want to say goodbye. I was so done. I was like, not to mention we were wrestling later that night on another show, on our pro show against Jaden Newman, who's like top 400 in the country. Yeah. So I just thought, I'm so done. I'm just going to leave. And I left in my wrestling gear. Literally grabbed my suitcase. The kids were like, what's going on? And then I just ran down the street to my car. And the funny thing was, you know, you got like your community groups on Facebook, like Bolton Community in Blackpool. Someone posted, has anybody seen a guy in his underpants with a suitcase? And there was a video of me in my wrestling white pants with a big gold belt on my suitcase. I'll find the footage for you and I'll play. I've still got the footage.
Oh no, that is
and
amazing.
They were like, has anybody seen this guy? Then what I did though, because I thought, the promoter thought, because he didn't know I was leaving, cinema. So he loved it. He loved the angle of me leaving with it. Because why wouldn't you? Because he actually put me on the next show as Rossy Speaks, and I was like, no, I'm not. But anyway, so the funny thing was, I met up with Philip, who's the champion. I said, Philip, would you like your belt back? And he says, do I fuck? I went, oh, what do I do? And he just left me with the belt. I was like, what do I do? So I thought, okay, I know how to troll people, so I just took pictures with it. Yeah. I did loads of promos that I never posted because I was just over it. Yeah. So I did loads of clever promos like, thank you so much everybody for your support. We're now, I told you I'll hold the championship and now we are. Yeah. But then I was like, I actually don't care. Like, there's no value to me in the company, there's no value to me in that belt. Yeah. Like I said, it's a Happy Meal toy to me. So I just didn't bother. And then but the cool thing was, the second I left, my head was clear. Yeah. And I feel like I've achieved a lot more because I can give a lot more now.
Well, I was going to move on to, obviously, you got a really good relationship with Target Wrestling and Carlisle. Amazing. How did that come along?
They again, happy accident. So I was supposed to wrestle a guy by the name of Sheikh El Shan at said Preston Company. Yeah. The beautiful thing with this is, I was supposed to wrestle him in Blackpool. He no-showed the show because he was on. So when I was fed up with the company, he was already ahead. He was fed up with the company. He was fed up with the promoter. Yeah. But it's not a coincidence anymore. Every single person that's made it as a top star for them is like, no, I've got a voice now. I'm bailing. I was angry at the time because I was supposed to go over. So I was very, very angry. And I kind of did blame Sheikh, but I shouldn't have done. Yeah. But again, I was young, a bit naive. I didn't really see the crap he was going through. And Sheikh just no-showed. But then someone had to step in at short notice. It was a Target lad. The Target promoter was in the audience. I went, this Rossy guy. And then Target approached me and said, hey, do you want to wrestle for us? And I said, no. Because I don't want to wrestle. Like, you know what I mean? I actually don't want to wrestle. Like, I use wrestling as a platform. I pick and choose where I go and what I do. So I was like, no thanks. I appreciate it. He's like, well, can we do 3 matches and see how you feel? I said, yeah, okay, you know, but I don't want to go any higher. I don't want WWE. I'm very proud of what we've built. Yeah. So I love creating, and I'd rather work for something I've created than for something that already exists. Yeah. So it sounds mean, but it kind of craps on every title because I don't want any title now because it's already been created. I want to work towards things that are ours and go down that route. So it's very different. Yeah. So I can't be bought. I can't be negotiated with. But anyway, I did the 3, and guess what? After the 3rd, very smart man, he put the belt on me. Yeah. Because that means I've got to do more. But to be fair, by show 1, I fell in love with Target. I fell in love with the crowd, the backstage vibe, and plus was this a similar time? Well, I was still working for them, I think it was, so it was a nice breath of fresh air. Yeah. I was like, wow, everyone's just dead lovely. The promoter was just dead nice.
You kind of saw how it could be.
Yeah. Like, so I've wrestled for other companies as well, so I already kind of knew anyway. Yeah. And plus, we were red hot at the time with the kids. But I was like, yeah, this is cool. So Target has been good as gold with me. They have been lovely. They've listened to any potential problems, which I've had none, but they've listened to ideas. They've had a plan anyway. They've used me to enhance their talent, but they've also gifted me big names, to say the least. So I've had loads of good memories at your target, loads of good times and memories.
I've just obviously recently started going down to going up to watch them.
You seen your first target?
Yeah,
you seen the standard shift.
It's really good.
You were like,
really
oh god,
good,
this is actually
really
a good standard. Yeah.
So a great match, Rossy Rascal versus August Artois.
Shall we run it back?
You definitely should.
Shall we run that
We will
back?
get to that later on.
Pro Wrestling's Angel versus
fantastic.
Pro Wrestling's Devil. There you go.
Yeah.
There
So
you go.
obviously a wrestler, champion, multiple champion. What made you start the academy? Like where did the idea come from? What?
Boring answer. It was an accident. So judo. It's really weird because I think when I was doing judo at the club I was at, I was like, there could be more. They weren't inclusive. They weren't community focused. They were very, if you don't win gold medal, we don't care. But then I was like, that's cool because I'm doing well. Like I'm a good fat little fighter. But then I was like, but let's include people a little bit more. But I was so young at the time, so it was kind of like naivety of just me being, oh, well, why is this guy can't take part, or why is this guy not being looked at? So I had an opportunity to open up a satellite club in St Anne's at the YMCA. That's where I got the funding. That was the story of the blue and yellow mats. I just started at the YMCA. First session, 2 kids turned up. I thought, crumbs. Adult class, we had a few because obviously the other clubs supported me. And then the 2 kids turned into 4, 4 turned into 8. 2 years later, we're Club of the Year. Holy smokes, then we got another building, and then obviously the judo expanded. Yeah. And then it was like, oh, okay, to the point where the other one, you know what I mean, there's a whole...
When was this?
Oh, timeline, I would have been like 21, 22. So I've just learnt how to read now. Because I need to... They're like, oh, can you send me an invoice? I need to Google what an invoice is. I need to Google what this means. I was like, I don't know what all this means. Oh, can you... But I had guys just doing it for me. I think my naivety's shown. But like you said, it's a secret. It's like, stop thinking, just do. I didn't know what I was doing. Probably still don't know what I'm doing. As a wrestler, as a promoter, as a businessman, I don't know what I'm doing. But it's working.
So the judo side of it, how long's that been going on?
We celebrate our 10-year anniversary this year. Next month we celebrate our 10-year anniversary. Wow. How cool is that?
That is
so 10-year anniversary, which will be special. And then the wrestling side, again, accident, because I had a vision to do sports camps. But this is when I was still with the other judo academy. Yeah. And they hated the idea. I'm like, how can you hate this? We're promoting other clubs, other coaches. Kids are exposed now to boxing, MMA, pro wrestling. We loaned a professional wrestling ring, and we did a cool little sports camp. Then one of the parents said, that pro wrestling day was cool, you should open up a pro wrestling academy. Declan, what did I say? I said no. I said no.
No.
Do you know why I said no? 2 years I've been pro wrestling for.
Yeah.
I'm like, who am I? There's people out there 20, 30 years. I've been in this business for 2 years, and I'm going to open an academy. Fair enough, I've got all this judo experience, the coaching experience. Yeah. And I've got a coaching style that kids gravitate to, because like you said, they probably didn't even care about the judo and the wrestling.
Yeah, they just
gravitated.
Yeah, exactly. They enjoyed the family feel and stuff.
Then there was an opportunity to buy a wrestling ring, but I bought it thinking I can use it for the sports camps, and I was like, okay, I'll tell you what, I will trial the kids wrestling class. Yeah. Best thing I've ever done in my life. Genuinely the best thing I've ever done. But then it goes into, how can a kid with 2 years pro wrestling experience open up a wrestling school when people 20, 30 years experience haven't? Now I get it, because obviously a lot of people are firing shots at me and saying, oh, you're this, you're that, but it's like, no, I've been in this game for 5 years. Yeah. I've got a wrestling school, we created the most beautiful championship and most important championship. Yeah. You can go on all day. So how can I do that within 5 years and they can't? That's why I respect August Artois' work. He's been in the game for 5 years. Yeah, it's mad to think he's been in the game for 5 years. He gets it. He gets it. Do you know what I mean? Well, yeah, fair enough. We have our differences in the ring in terms of the angel and the devil of pro wrestling, but you got to respect that, man.
I think you're very similar but opposites. Like you both get it. You've both been in it the same amount of time, but he's the yin and you're the yang.
I agree, makes sense. That's why I think the match was so good, and I was very proud of that match.
Yeah, very good.
Because the contrast was beautiful. Even the attire that we wore, I was pure white. He was, devil black. It was just the match made in heaven, basically.
It was a fantastic
it was
match.
It was great. I enjoyed it, but it was a great clash of personalities, in-ring personas, what we stand for as characters. So that has to happen down the line again, without a doubt. Loved it.
Yeah. So what was the original plan for the academy when obviously the judo academy, do you represent fighters who go and fight at tournaments and stuff?
The judo side,
yeah.
So again, when I first actually opened, I had the same mindset of I want gold medals, I want
Yeah.
champions, which we achieved, and then it just kept getting more and more wholesome. Because remember, I'm like, what, 21, 22, just always been a fighter, like brought up into the judo world by bad people, which I didn't realise were bad at the time. So I didn't know how to be kind, I didn't know how to be wholesome, I just knew that, okay, I can teach you judo to win a gold medal. So the more I was around the kids, I learnt how to, you know, be empathetic. Is that the word? Empathy? Have empathy.
I'm dyslexic, don't ask me.
But I learnt how to have empathy. I learnt how to be kind. And there was moments in the mat where I was like, oh, my black heart. And you know what I mean? And I was experiencing moments that just calmed me down and went, there's actually more to life than just fighting and winning gold medals.
Yeah.
So it really, I think it actually brought me back to the real me.
Yeah.
I think judo kind of corrupted me in a way where I was just fight. But then it brought me back to the real me because I've always had kind qualities as a kid. I've always had caring qualities.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So that's kind of how it.
You can see it now as an
I
adult.
appreciate it, man. Thank you.
So obviously the wrestling side of it originally just for the children. Originally, the original direction of the Academy of Wrestling.
It had none. It had none. It was just let's do it, and I think we had like 8 turn up to support it. Yeah, absolutely. Because there was no intention to do kids shows. There was no intention to do adult classes. There was no intention to introduce titles. There was no intention to sit here with you talking about this. There was no intention. It was just let's just do a bit of wrestling because it's fun. But remember, this was a time where kids wrestling didn't exist. I was the magician telling all the secrets. So it's like Rascal's a bad guy. He's spoiling the magic for the kids.
Well, we like you said, we would have loved to have something like this as kids growing up wanting to be wrestlers.
But what you've learned is the kids actually appreciate wrestling more now that they know what it is.
Yeah.
Because we're not fooling the audience, we're capturing their imagination with pantomime. You go to a pantomime and you believe the bad guy wants to steal the lamp. You believe the good guy wants to marry the princess. You're capturing that, you know, that world.
Yeah.
So it's the same with wrestling. The kids actually appreciate it more now that they know what it is. Because it's up to us as performers to, again, capture their imagination, take them on that journey, not to fool them anymore.
A lot of people will say to me, like, do you enjoy wrestling still now that you do it?
Yeah.
It's like, I appreciate it more now that I know.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm like, wow, they've just done that. That was crazy.
This is cool. Yeah,
and you appreciate it more. Well, really quick, you're talking about the pantomime. You are in a pantomime.
Oh no, I'm
get
not.
that in there.
Oh no, I'm not.
Posters are everywhere. Go on, quickly. What we are?
Guess what? This was an accident.
Yeah.
So there was a guy, a good friend of mine. He owns a few of the bars around here. He took one look at me and went, "You look like a dopey prince." So he actually set the pantomime up around me because he thought you'd be perfect as a dopey prince. And I was like, "Can we just call it a prince?" So I do play. It's Beauty and the Beast, but it's a 4-person cast. I've not read the script yet because I can't read, so I'm just gonna wing it.
Yeah.
There's actually a naughty version. There's a kid version in the day. Then there's an adult version which is a bit more naughty. Same script, but just a little bit more.
A bit more saucy.
Yeah, the jokes nudge. But I play the dopey prince, as in an arrogant but lovable prince, if I can portray that. I don't know how. But then I also play the beast.
Oh, okay.
So, as they said, you know, my doctor always said I was morbidly obese. So this time I get to portray it. Oh, so yes, that's another one.
That's running, is it through all of December?
Yes, so the last Saturday in November, all the way through December, every Saturday. 3 shows are already sold out.
Oh, wow.
So obviously, again, that's a cheap plug to get your tickets now. You can find them on Stanley Show Bar. But again, we'll put a link in the description of this anyway. But
you can also find them on Ticket Source, that's where I found mine.
Hell yeah, absolutely. But it's a side quest. I'm enjoying my side quest. It's different.
I can't wait to watch that. Getting a little bit deeper. So in the past 5 years, the Academy, wrestling, at some point during that time, you experienced heart failure.
Yeah, man.
What was that like? How did you work around it? What's your recovery been like?
Well, we've just gone from the old jolly stuff.
We have to get deep sometimes.
It's again, I don't normally reflect, so it's kind of hard to remember on the spot, if that makes sense. But there was just a night where, again, out of nowhere, I thought I was healthy. I thought I was athletic. I thought I was on top. I was actually world champion at the time. So how can this happen?
Yeah.
It was just literally woke up in the middle of the night. I thought I was hungry, or thought I maybe had a stomach ache. Boom, I'm on the floor. And in my head, all I can remember in my head was, I am dying, I need to get up. So I counted, this probably was, I don't know if it's 20 minutes or 5 seconds, but when I'm going to count to 5 and stand up, I went, no, I'm dying, count to 3. And then all I remember is getting up and then going down again. And I remember being in a vehicle, don't know what vehicle it was, And then everything was just mad, and I was hooked up to a machine at A&E, and then I was like hooked up to everything. I'm like, what the hell's actually going on? And I said to the guy, because I thought I was, I said, am I dying? And he went, no, of course not. I went, oh, that's pretty cool. And then the next doctor comes in, bit more panicked.
Yeah.
I went, am I dying? And he went, bear with me.
Oh my God, no!
I was like, okay.
Ooh.
So, but at least I can talk. I'm
Yeah.
aware, do you know what I mean? But my heart rate dropped. I think the lowest it got to was 16 beats per minute. So they're trying to get this heart rate back up, and I don't really remember much of it. There was loads and loads it took me ages to recover. And I tried my damned hardest to keep it a secret from the kids.
Yeah.
But they noticed the shift in you see how I coach, my energy.
Yeah.
To just like sitting down after doing a forward roll. Like they noticed the dip.
Yeah.
Then the day came where I had to wear, I don't know what it was called, or I was hooked up to loads of crazy stuff. And the kids kept asking, and I was like, oh, it's a radio. And
No.
But it was obvious what it was.
Yeah.
But the harsh thing is, do I have any regrets? No. I was desperate to leave the hospital because, again, being that gritty fighter, you know. So I was in there for a day. They wanted me longer, but I lied on a question to get out. Because I had all your scans, pumped me with iodine, got the heart rate back to 40 beats per minute. But around that was kind of normal for me because of the athlete side, so that was enough for me. And then they were asking about like family history and all that, so I just had to lie because I knew if I lied, I'd get out.
Yeah.
And I went straight to the academy.
Just straight back in there.
I was weak as hell, but then 2 days later I wrestled.
Oh.
But not only did I wrestled in a tournament called Road to Glory.
Yeah.
And I went to the final. So I actually wrestled once on the Friday, 3 times on the Saturday in one day. I wrestled Ashton Smith, I wrestled Franco Varga, I wrestled Michael, which was a 30-minute match. All 2 days after heart failure. Just because that was normal to me to go. It gets deep. A lot of my friends and family, we had fallouts over it because I genuinely 100% thought I was going to die. Or I knew that was the end.
Yeah.
So now that I'm still here, this is what makes me confident and strong because I genuinely accepted it was the end. I was on the phone to a close friend just before I went in and they were like, you better not be walking into that arena. I said, I'm going to walk in, take a deep breath because you get adrenaline when you enter the arena, and I'm going to see if that's too much, I'll sit down. But what's it going to be like when your music hits, when the crowd or your first bump? Not to mention, I know I'm wrestling 4 times. But I knew I was putting Philip over in the final. Philip gave me the World Cruiserweight title.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I kind of have to give back. Or I don't see things as this and that, I just see it as an obligation. I am obligated to do this because I said I would.
Yeah.
So there was nothing really going on. I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything at all. I'm glad that promoter of that company doesn't give anybody the footage. He holds on to it, you know, because he's a tyrant. But I don't want the footage anyway because I can't remember a damn thing. All I remember is when I lost the match in the final because I had to win the 3 matches. Are you okay? Are you tearing up? Are you tearing up? I'm giving you the less sad version.
Oh, we can edit this bit.
But no, I'm giving you the less sad version. But no, the second, I think he picked, because we did a dramatic story where it's 30 minutes, we've been through all this. I think I was on my knees, we did the dramatic, I swear at him, he snaps my fingers and then finishes me.
Yeah.
The second he pinned me 1, 2, 3, I felt like something leave my body. Like, I've done it. And then, I want to say I collapsed or I just fell asleep or something happened.
Yeah.
And I was done. And then, but I don't remember a thing. I've still got the odd clip that people filmed in the crowd, but it was horrifying because I didn't tell anybody really.
Yeah, so no one really knew.
But Kaysen, who's a great friend of mine, Kaysen Riley, who's in Canada at the minute, can't wait for him to come back. I had to tell someone because I thought I was going to die. So I said, Kaysen, I might die, mate. Can you just let the referee know in case you have to do an emergency, like, stop the match type thing? But I went in with the darkest mindset ever. It took me a few days to get into that mindset of, okay, this is it. I'm accepting that this is the end, but I'm doing it in a wrestling ring, so I'm happy. So obviously now that it didn't happen, it knocked me for 6, where I was like, I was genuinely prepared to call it.
Yeah.
I was genuinely in that mindset of, okay, here we go, like a warrior out in your shield. It was insane. It took me a long time to recover because I did fake a lot of my recovery. And this is where the kids joke about me retiring all the time. I genuinely did. So I managed to make a comeback for the kids show. Main evented in a triple threat. Zach Travis was one of them as well. Absolute superstar, that kid. Put the other kid over, and I thought, right, I'm actually going to genuinely retire because my heart can't take it. Took my boots off. I genuinely retired. And then I had dips where I was like, I feel amazing. But then I'd wrestle or do, and I could not get back into.
Do you still get them now?
Not at all.
No,
so I'm back. Like, I feel amazing.
Yeah.
I feel awesome. But I don't know when that point was. I started feeling good again last year, so it took me a year and a half, 2 years. But this year in particular, especially because I put on a lot of weight last year, if you noticed.
No, to be fair, I didn't.
You didn't notice? Did you not mention it in that little face-to-face where
no.
You called me out?
I was trying to big bogs up.
No, you called me out for being a porker. But that was down to, I would say, potentially laziness. But I got to a point where I was scared to get, because my level of training is like, not superhuman, but I want to be a superhuman.
Yeah.
Or I felt like I had to live up to that reputation of training hard, or, you know what I mean? And I couldn't do that level anymore, to the point where I was like, I'm just not going to do it at all. So I piled on the pounds, but then since I started losing the weight like this year, and then being able to train how I feel like I should train, I feel mint.
Yeah,
I feel great.
Well, awesome. I'm glad you recovered.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah. But yeah, it's a weird situation when you genuinely thought it was the end.
Yeah.
And then it's not, and then it's like, great, I've got too many. It's the power of the people that rely on me, where, you know, whether there's a higher power, there's someone out there that's like, no, you've got work to do, kid. Yeah. We're going to keep you around for a little bit longer.
A bit of a second coming.
You've got work to do. Now, we haven't got that far. People would be like, comment saying, who does this guy think he is? My God.
Well, that comes into now. So, fast forward to now.
Yeah.
New facility, new building.
You're
now a community hub.
Yeah.
Now, what does that mean?
A community hub is basically, you can call it home. You can call it a hub or a safe space.
Yeah.
I call it like a beacon of hope. Like, this is a building where people, you've seen it firsthand, people walk in, they feel safe.
Yeah, 100%.
People walk in, bad day, feel great. People leave on top of the world. The colours, the way it's set out, everything is, you've seen all the quirkiness, the Pokemon, the little quirkiness. There's kids that see them Pokemon and talk, and normally they're non-verbal.
Yeah.
Or they don't communicate. So this place is like a beacon of hope or inspiration. So that's what our community hub is. That's what it is, and we're open 7 days a week. So this was always the vision all along. I wanted a place where, you know, people can just have fun. Not just kids, people, anybody. And it's
fully grown men.
Hell yeah, do you know what I mean? And to do things that are cool, like interviews, or to wrestle, or to be a superhero, or just to be themselves, film some content, because that's what, you know, 2025 is nowadays.
It really is.
That's what the community hub
content.
Special is what it is. It's special.
Well, that's why I like it so much, because you see the content.
Yeah.
And then you step in through the doors and you see it's not just the content, like it's real life people.
Yeah.
The kids, myself, other individuals, you bring together a community that can just be themselves around each other, and they absolutely love it.
I don't do that, we all do that.
Yeah, we do it together.
So the kids especially, like you said, it's, again, I'm around this 7 days a week.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why I'm so detached, calm, I like to say pure-hearted, because I'm around it 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Constantly. And everything I do is for the kids, so whether it's a bad day, good day, don't care, it gets done. Work gets done. You know, that ring needs going up when you
it's
do it
for the kids.
You know, it really is.
So you was never planning on being a promotion as such?
We're not.
We're not a promotion, but we do pro shows, like adult shows. How did the first pro show come along? Like,
we are not a promotion, but promotions are watching. Promotions are stealing our taglines because they know it works. Promotions are now looking at us for inspiration, which is phenomenal, and I'm very flattered. Big promotions are now saying, what's going on at Rascals? How are they doing that? But we're not a promotion, we're a community. Our shows are community centered, and we put on show, just so happens to be pro wrestling. But it's a community show that engages people, it's a pantomime. First pro show came about because we started doing adult classes. Yeah. And I thought, these guys deserve to have their moment. I've had my moments, again, the World Championships, wrestling. It feels great. So let them have their moments. And Pro Show 1 was done in a unit in the back arse of nowhere in a 12-foot wrestling ring. And we made it work. And the main event was an out-of-shape Ernest Boggs versus an out-of-shape Rossy Rascal in a 12-foot ring. And it worked. You know, there were so many wholesome moments. It introduced Blackpool to a level of wrestling where it can be wholesome but still to a good standard, and give people that normally wouldn't have a chance, whether it's a disability or just lack of experience or athleticism, to shine in characters. And then Pro Show built, where we, you know, earlier this year, the main event was an in-shape Rossy Rascal and an in-shape Ernest Boggs, and it tore the house in a 16-foot ring. So within a year, it's kind of it's done amazing.
Because I walked through the doors just before Pro Show 2.
Yes.
Wow. So I've seen some names that come in. How have you like T-Bone, ex-WWE UK NXT, Martin Kirby, legend of the indie scene. You even brought Danny Hope, your original trainer, back in. Like, so the talent you bring in, how do you choose it? How do you play it?
Friendship. I'm very specific who I bring in. I want good people first, and if they just happen to be good performers and good wrestlers, bonus. I want good people to be in our academy. I want good people to be around our kids and good people to be around what we do. Everything's just friendship. I've been a wrestler, so I know what I like and don't like backstage. I know what annoys me when promoters talk to me or when promoters do or don't do things. One thing is being honest and open. Again, I'll even give you a feed line if you want. That Carney promoter in Preston doesn't keep his word and doesn't pay people. But I'm transparent, you know what I mean? So that's what we do, and we're a community hub, non-for-profit. All the money goes back to the kids, but we will look after people if they're travelling afar and if they need a wage. We will always look after you. So it's just being transparent, and most of the people I brought in is just through friendships. So again, T-Bone was my first opponent, but then we had the same agent when we were in the modelling world. That was kind of weird, but that was we got talking. I was like, look, I could do with a lot of support if that's okay. And then the American lads, I've wrestled like 2 of them.
Which pro show was that?
Pro Show 3. It was like
I
American and Britain.
Yeah,
best ending to any pro show ever.
You had the American flag and the Great Britain flag was great.
Little things, but like I said, I've now wrestled 3 out of 4 of them lads.
Yeah.
Like I wrestled O'Shea and Jarrett in a tournament on the same day, which was my favourite matches. And then I wrestled Jaden on that day.
Yeah.
But it's just honestly just friendships. Now we're at the level where we can treat it better in terms of we can look after people with wages and travel and all that. So now it's kind of more I can scout different people.
Yeah.
But most of it is down to if you're a good person, just friendships. But there's people that I want on, like Dave Birch. I wanted him for ages.
Yeah.
But there was just nothing for him in terms of what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Now there is. This is his second one now. And I've still got loads of people in my head that I want. I've just got nothing for at the minute.
Yeah, I'm guessing you have to think as a promoter as well.
You got to, kind of. Like, so I always want to keep the community value, but there's we're doing a champion versus champion match on our next pro show, which is scary. Like, that's huge.
When is the next pro show?
November 23rd. Here, tickets are still available, but we're quite limited now, to be honest.
There's some really good matches on that show.
Oh, scary matches.
Yeah.
Champion versus champion, last monster standing. So I'm going to be stood here as, I don't know, the promoter, I guess. Eating a hot dog and absolutely shaking in my boots. Yeah, scary times. But we've got some good matches because not only do we have high standard caliber matches, world champions, American talent, been on NXT, last monster standing matches, we have a lot of trainees that have been gifted opportunities on that show. Yourself included, you should be very proud.
Thank you very much.
You know, your performance in the last one was stunning. And now you've got Dave Birch. So people like yourself have opportunities on this show, and that's what I love about our shows. High standard wrestling with giving people opportunities.
Yeah, you give the trainees a chance to actually go out and learn their craft, because obviously training's one thing. Once you get to actually have a match, you fully understand everything. Once you get backstage and you like Pro Show 7, I got the call, you're gonna be against Rarebit.
I'm sorry.
I was like,
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
But having that experience of showing up at 10:30 for the road call, listening to the backstage stuff, planning a match with someone who's experienced, it gives you the confidence to carry on.
Yes. But it gives you the buzz, the confidence.
Yeah.
But that's what I love about these guys is I've experienced my first buzz of, I've got a match graphic. I'm on the poster.
Yeah.
My first match, my first win, my first title.
Mine.
You know what I mean?
I framed mine.
But stuff like that doesn't bother me anymore. Like, it's kind of sad now. When I win a trophy, I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
The kids will love that. We'll take a few pictures and create a bit of buzz. But I've been there. It's like, I'm on the poster. Yes. Like, that doesn't faze me now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's where we're at. Like yourself. I don't think you've been on our poster yet.
No,
but when that day comes, that'll be a buzz.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've held your first championship.
Next on my bucket list, that.
Yeah, you've got a match graphic. So you've got loads of cool things happening. But I'm really proud of you, because that wasn't the original plan to have you on that show, but you were ready and you were available, and that's how I got into wrestling, because I was ready and I was available.
I really appreciate that opportunity.
My pleasure.
And it's got me opportunities since then.
That's it.
Got me bookings.
Good man.
These 2 next questions kind of go hand in hand.
Okay.
Why did you turn yourself heel? Because you've always been the Superman, and obviously we crowned our first ever Rascals champion, Ernest Boggs. What made you choose it? What made you choose Ernest Boggs?
So, did you not enjoy the heel?
Yes, it was very different, unexpected.
It needed to happen for many reasons. So, the original plan was, so, there was never going to be a championship. But there kind of was.
Yeah.
I was saying that because there was. And then if you go back to Pro Show 2, 3, there was Easter eggs. We used that as like a token, just so this is ours. But Boggs picked it up after a match once. And I was like, yeah, he's teasing this. No one knows. And then the original plan was, he was going to invent the match, Rascal versus Boggs, whatever. But it was originally going to be a heel Boggs versus a face Rascal. Then I thought, no. Because, Boggs would have been a heel champ. That was the plan. But then I thought, no. I'm wrestling the same style because everybody here are following me to target. It's the Superhero Rascal.
Yeah.
We've had Superhero Rascal, so it's the same act. So I thought we really need to change it up where it's different.
Switch it up.
And I think I played a heel on the kids show, but that's like a goofy.
Yeah.
You know, like Rocksteady Bebop from Ninja Turtles. It's very goofy. I trip up. I always get my comeuppance.
Yeah.
But I thought, what if I played a heel that sounds real because I'm bitter, and we did it in such a manipulative way. Where on the same night, Boggs turned face, and I'm getting jealous because people are cheering for him. And I'm like, yeah, this works. Because there was a moment where I was like, if the fans don't get it, we can just build up to it.
I was in the crowd.
Yeah.
And obviously, you have to remember, I'm someone who knows the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And I was still fully invested. I watched you, like, everyone started chatting Boggs, you two get in a ring, and the whole heel turn was wow.
Because I think I was saying something like, oh, I'm not doing pro shows now, I'm retired. Again, just playing into that little element. And then when he called me in, I was like, no, mate, that just annoyed me. And then it was, it's going to be face and face. This is great. Tear the house down. Main event of the Mega Pro Show, which is the WrestleMania. Belts just been created. But not out of nowhere. And that's why companies go wrong. They just put belts on a show for the sake of it. We built up to that.
Yeah.
We didn't just put it on the line. Same with that. So when we built up to it, and then it was like, I'm going to recreate a moment. Because we planted seeds where every time I tried to interact with Boggs, he'd stick his fingers up at me.
Yeah.
Every time. So then the first time he tries to extend his hands, I did it.
Yeah.
Then I swore at the fans, hit him in the nuts.
Yeah.
Because I think it needed more.
Yeah.
And then I did the old pose with the belt, which I did at Preston Company with that belt. And I'm like, this is it now. Because people wanted to see me as a heel for a long time.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to give the company the satisfaction of me being a heel because I knew it would work.
Yeah.
I knew it was money.
Exactly.
I knew a heel Rascal was money. And the things I was saying, kind of true. I felt like I got a lot off my chest. I had to go at the indie scene, I had to go at the promotion. I felt like I got a lot off my chest. Then we told the story of kids cried at the press conference with that because I was saying I hate kids and I've never done
I was honoured to host that press conference and a kid did cry.
Boggs teared up. I went full out and went real with it, and even Boggs teared up, but there was kids that were crying because they genuinely believed that Rascal is snapped.
Yeah.
And then when I came out, I had got some advice of Kirby. I said, Kirby, I've never actually worked heel properly. He says, don't be witty. Because let's say you're chanting and I'm witty with you.
Yeah.
It calms you down. So if I stay full on savage heel, the audience are never calm with me.
Yeah.
They can't actually interact or get on a level. So if you shout something and I go, yeah, good one, you clown. You're kind of now calm at a level with me. And I'm glad he said that because I went full out nasty pasty.
Yeah, he was.
Absolutely battered the crap out of him. But look at the payoff.
Yeah.
I got my big comeuppance.
Yeah.
But it also worked where we were planting seeds where it's like, we genuinely don't know who's actually going to win this.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know. We made the right choice.
Yeah,
I'm very proud of the choice. Yeah. There was only an hour, that's not even a day, where I was going to win it. Where I was like, no, I'm going to win this. And then I was like, nah, stupid. I can't be a promoter and put a belt on myself. No,
it was like, the Rascal title.
So it was always going to be Boggs, but it was supposed to be a heel Boggs face Rascal.
Yeah.
I flipped it. Definitely glad I did. Match I was really proud of. I enjoyed working the heel because it was a good pace. I enjoyed just being a nasty pasty, judo throwing everybody. And then the ending, how did we end? There wasn't much to give away. We just ended on a hug and then I just left.
Yeah.
That's how we've left, and I'm not wrestling.
No, we've not seen you since.
And you're not seeing me and you're not seeing me since.
We've not seen the Rossy Rascal character
So it's
since.
like, obviously in this promotion, for that promotion, for Top Rope, and for Target, I've been a baby face. Yeah. But for this one, if I ever do come back, because it wasn't booked on 7, not booked on 8. We don't know what's happening on, next year.
Yeah.
So when I come back, it's like, okay, what are we getting? And then why am I coming back?
Because people are going to think now, is he face? Is he heel? And it's left that door open.
Exactly, because maybe I don't even know right now. But it's
Do
like,
you even know right now? Yeah, a little bit.
The good thing is I've got options.
Yeah.
And it's better not to jump into it and just wait back.
Yeah.
So yes and no, but it's not more am I going to be good or bad, it's more why is Rascal coming back? Like what would bring me back?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's,
I've
just lost the biggest match in my career for a title that I wanted so bad because it was in my build in Mr. Black, you know, as the heel, as I said, as a bad guy. So what would bring me back?
So, before pro shows, there was the kid shows.
Yes.
You talk about the kid. I know you've just had the 3rd year anniversary.
Yeah.
And all the storylines came to fruition. Like, what was the process in starting on them shows?
Wow, this is one of my favourite subjects because this is where people lie, don't sleep. I'm constantly, so I call it working whilst working. So I was doing a photo shoot once, but I'm on my phone planning the graphics. And they're like, Ross, you're always on your phone. It's like, no, I'm actually working whilst working. I'm doing the graphics, the storytelling. You remember with kids, you got to put extra safety precautions. I've got to make sure, you know, it's different.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing is with pro wrestling shows, you can't plan too far in advance. Things happen. People could let you down legit.
Yeah.
Car failure, anything. But with kids shows, I know all the kids are going to turn up because they're a part of the academy.
Yeah.
So you can play with that. So we did our first show as like a Christmas. I know all the parents kind of joked like, we knew it was going to be crap, but it's just an activity, we'll all clap along. It blew us away.
Yeah.
It wasn't crap. It was one of the greatest things we've ever seen in our life. So we had Goodwin. I wrestled Zach Travis. So we were like a 9-year-old kid versus me. Just won my world title the week before. And we did a face versus face. And I shown dark side. And I actually turned heel and wrestled in the main event against Casey Diamond. So a lot of our wrestlers did double duty. And this is where I have so much respect for him, because kids wrestling was it was frowned upon. I was the magician, remember, pulling the curtain.
Yeah.
But it was also, one thing goes wrong, that's it, you're done. Because kid gets hurt, you're done. You know what I mean? So
it is a touchy subject.
So for people like your Boggs, your Kaysons, or even me, so young in our careers, taking that risk, I respect them fully. So much.
Big step.
But
a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. So the first show was just going to be a one and done, like a Christmas activity. So that was actually our first show, was the Christmas show. And then we were like, that was so good, weren't it? So then we did Easter Bash, where you've got to respect as well, I'm trying to get every kid on the card. So you have obviously kids that are, let's say, more capable, but the rule was they had to wrestle a pro. The kid has to wrestle a pro, that was the rule. So there was extra safety precautions. Yeah. And then Easter Bash, I think I wrestled 3 times. We did the Rascal Trav rematch, but I was heel this time. This was like obnoxious Rascal, fluffy jacket. I had 3 championship belts from 3 different companies, and I thought, yes, I'm the man. And then we played it with Zach, and I wrestled another lad, and then I wrestled the main event, which was your 5-on-5 happy, go home story. First year anniversary rocks up, and then we head into year 2 where we took a risk and did our first ever kid versus kid, and we were scared because this was never going to happen. And they were one of my favourite matches ever. That was a guy called Keyboard Warrior, who is the most charismatic kid I've ever met in my life, and I adore that kid, against Joshy Bakey, who now is incredible. Does better. Like I said, these kids, there's a lot of people in the wrestling world, professionals, that are jealous of these kids because they are just better. They're better at social media, they're better at character portraying, they're better at outfits, they're better at how they present themselves. They're actually better at in-ring psychology. Because remember, I don't want kids to do big moves where they get hurt. I want them to be good characters and good psychology, so they don't have to do the big moves. So the kids are actually wrestling better based on that, because they're not going to rely on Canadian Destroyers moonsaults, trying to look cool. They were playing their characters so well, and the kids are phenomenal. 3rd year anniversary. So I planned so far in advance. I think by the time we got to the 2nd show, I already mapped out what I wanted to do for the 3rd year anniversary. Already knew.
How long was that?
2 years.
So you'd already planned 2 years in advance?
2.5 years. I knew it was going to be Cannonball Concrete main event. I knew there was going to be a Rascal Rumble. Didn't know Reaper was going to win it, but I knew.
Yeah.
I knew. Who did I wrestle? Oh yeah, me and Trav.
Yep.
Even though he was a good guy and I was a good guy when I planned this,
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be against Casey. It was going to be someone else, not Pixie.
Right.
But she stepped in, right place, right time, and it worked. What else matches? I knew it was going to be King and Vacay, Ego and Ninja. I can go on all day. It was already planned.
Just already planned it ahead.
A few things, minor changes, but everything more or less. So I was like, wow, this is crazy how it is genuinely 3 years of story. And if you, obviously you weren't around at the academy,
Yeah.
but as the parents, if you saw show 1, there was Easter eggs and nods to everything.
Yeah.
Like everything. Casey beat me in the main event of the first ever show. There was that stigma. Trav's outfit was a collection of every outfit he's ever worn. There was so many Easter eggs in that played homage to our past shows.
And it just all built up.
It all just built up and it was great. It was good fun.
It also gives the kids that confidence to speak, because
Yeah,
I did not like speaking as a kid
Yeah.
in front of crowds. Now you have children cutting promos and
It's stunning, isn't it?
talking in front of crowds and just working.
But-
It's amazing.
In training, it's so supportive that I don't shy away from it. It says, don't worry, you're not going to get embarrassed. I said, no, you are going to get embarrassed, but we're embarrassed together.
Yeah.
So it's not shying away from it. It's saying, look, you are going to be embarrassed, you are going to be struggling or shy, but we're here to support you. We're going to laugh with you, not at you. We're going to be shy with you. You know what I mean? I get embarrassed still when I cut promos here. I came out once, I don't know if you were there for that. I came out, I was a bad guy with Travi. I put too much hot stuff on and my skin burnt up, so I was red. So I'm normally brown for the sunbed,
Yeah.
and I'm burning because I thought I had more time, but my music hit. And I'm like, I'm actually burning, I'm wearing a leather jacket, took it off, way lobster, way! And I'm just stood there going, oh my god, like, I'm so insecure right now. But you know what I mean, like little moments like that, they love to have a go at me, especially when I was the idiot heel. So the crowd were loving that, like, Link can get our own back on Rossy, we can really wind him up, and it was great fun. But as a heel, I could give it back in a witty perspective.
Yeah.
That was the kids show, because I said on the pro show I wasn't witty, I was
More serious.
yeah, but the kids show.
Yeah, the kids shows are fantastic. When is the next kids show?
Next kids show, Christmas time, 14th of December. So this is beautiful. Where again, our first ever show was Christmas. So we're going to continue the storylines, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's a mini reset with the talent that we use. We have an academy now with, trainees that are ready to keep kids safe, that are ready to get involved, that are, do you know what I mean, that have watched the kids since day one anyway. And because it's a community, they are coming down to support community events, so the kids are familiar with.
Yeah.
So when we first started booking the kids shows, I would only bring in wrestlers, pros, that they were familiar with, or they've seen before. Similar to our pro shows, I'm like, oh, they've seen this guy at Target, I'll bring him in. So again, that's why it's quite hard to get on our shows, because it's more, I want the kids to be familiar with you, or be comfortable around you.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Or, to be fair, I can just put a good word in and already they're like, yeah, Rascal said you're okay, so you're okay. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, the kids show, I can talk all day, because that's all I think about, is just these kids shows and how can I make this community better for them. When I'm talking to people like you, whether it's on camera, off camera, or talking at meetings or British Idols, that's all I bring up. I adore them. I think they're phenomenal people.
Yeah,
I think they're absolutely phenomenal.
It is an amazing
They keep me
thing to be a
humble.
part.
I've had loads of success, and then I walk in the door and they take the mick out my eyebrows, they take the mick out my tan, and it's so humbling, because you can be a world champion on top of the world, and these kids are always going to bring you down and keep you level.
Have you had your eyebrows done?
Yes.
I thought I was going to ask what.
You can enhance it on an edit, but no, I can defend myself.
Yeah.
I have a photo shoot tomorrow. I didn't do it for this, honest. I have a photo shoot tomorrow with the British Isles.
Yeah,
so.
we're going to get into that.
Oh wait, oh god.
When we finish
I'll
up.
give you go for it, man. Go for it.
Well, you've just won Coach of the Year and Club of the Year.
Yes and no. So I was highly commended for Coach of the Year
Ah,
this
right,
time,
okay.
so that's kind of like a second place, but
Yeah.
it's still an award in itself.
Yeah.
So I have won Blackpool Coach of the Year twice, a huge honour, because I don't know if anybody's that's won it twice.
No.
I don't want to list these off because it just sounds boastful, but it's flattering because not only have I won Coach of the Year a few times, I've coached people to win Coach of the Year. So it's like, how did that even happen?
You're passing on the knowledge.
And I love to, because Coach of the Year now is I don't care about. But the beautiful thing was about this last one, it was like, right, I'm up for it, great, obviously you go, because I wanted the Club of the Year, which we won, yes. When the coach of the year won it, he sat down, he had a tear in his eye, and he looked at his lad. I'm like, I'm glad you won it. Like, because I would have just won it and gone, right, another one for the mantle. You know, we'll plug it on socials. But when I seen that guy, I was like, yeah, you deserve it. I'm so happy you won it. I buzz more of other people's success, whether people know it or not. Like, again, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, but when I see people happy, when I see people are thriving and having success, that's what makes me happy. Where even if you're an enemy and you have success, I'm so happy for you. And I love it when, for example, like that kid looked at his dad as the hero, and I was like, that's so cool. Do you know what I mean? Or when I seen your kids look at you and go, wow, my dad's a wrestler. They're moments that I enjoy more, where the kids are looking at their parents, and I'm just sat there going,
that just speaks volumes to how much of a nice person Ross Goodwin is. How he can put his success on the back burner and enjoys other people's success just as much.
I use my success, and again, a lot of people will say, no, you're hitting it for vanity, for greed, you know, look at this guy. We get it all the time. You know, we're very fortunate that the Gazette have just put us in there like 4 times this month. And but I use it to, but you have to, if you got it, you got to plug it. But I use it as a platform to open doors for these kids. So I have to be the front man or the leader whilst I have it, like with the sash thing and the belt. So I have to be the leader right now. But it's all genuinely for the reason to give them a greater platform. It's like literally just paving the way a little bit. So I'm not doing it to say, hey, look at me, I've won Coach of the Year that many times. It's not even fun anymore. Or, hey, we're in the Gazette again, great. It's more just to say, hey, I'm in the Gazette, tag Rascal's Academy, check it out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's plugging, it's product placement such.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, product placement, that's the way it is. But obviously a lot of people are getting fed up with me now with the, I don't care, you know what I mean? I know what I'm doing. But they're getting fed up with the success. Like, I've actually had more enemies since being successful than when I was an angry, aggressive fighter.
You'll get that.
I say enemies, I don't feel anything, but they my advice to them is just focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Man. Like, winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners. Just, if you focus, stay in your lane and focus on yourself, you'll achieve great things. If you're focusing on me, then you won't achieve anything because, because you can't do what I do.
No, exactly. Talking about winning things.
Oh God, what?
This nice little title here.
Beautiful, yes. The Blackpool Heritage United Kingdom Championship.
So that, you're the first champion,
yes.
First person to hold this title. How did that match come about? How did the title come around, and what was the whole experience
This
like?
was not an accident.
This one was not an accident.
Because I always knew I was going to be a Blackpool Heritage champion, and this was the cool thing, because we won it, and it was created this year. Kind of not. I actually created it 2-3 years ago.
In your head?
In my notes, and I had a picture of the concept of it, with a date on it, thank God, because I shown all the kids, that's when I thought of it. So I think it was like 2022. Where I had the concept of it. So that was always something. So I checked my notes back and it said, in my head though, we were at the Winter Gardens, one of the most iconic venues in Blackpool. In my head, it was Blackpool Tower. But I'm not going to complain.
No.
But in my head, I just knew I was going to be a Blackpool Heritage champion. I was going to win it at Blackpool Tower. And then I was going to pay respect, because I knew that was never been done, and it pays respect to what's come before us. I wanted, because with the kids, I wanted to not just focus on modern wrestling. I wanted the kids to respect what's come before us.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Or whether it's me that's come before them, or 80s, 90s wrestling. So that title being created is huge, but I always knew that was going to happen. It just happened a lot sooner than I thought.
Thought it was going to be somewhere down the road.
Yeah, but it was just right time, right place, and right to pull the trigger, because of course it was Top Rope promotion. The crazy facts about Top Rope, I main evented the first ever show. But again, due to the other company I was with, like, you can't do this, you can't wrestle for there, I don't like that guy, okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Giving other people hard times and just being a weirdo. So I kind of drifted from Top Rope, and my relationship with Shay kind of drifted as well, but it was cool that we could just pick up the phone last year and talk like we've never...
And you brought him in to do a seminar with us. That was an amazing experience.
Exactly. So again, the cool thing was, I mentioned very early on in this interview that someone told me I should do judo in my wrestling. He was the man. So Sheikh, to his credit, took over the coaching for a while, and he was the one that told me I should do judo in my wrestling. He told me I should do the judo throw as a shine though, and then we turned it to a finisher. So he's responsible. Like, we'll give the man credit, and he'll love this. His head will grow, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to do the accent." But
I love his promos.
But he'll be like, "Yeah." But I will go on paper now. So I owe that man quite a bit in terms of. He said something in the press conference like he created Rossy Rascal. Maybe he did a little bit. He created Rossy Rascal. Yeah, go on, you can have that. But you didn't create the Rascal Army, my friend. I would have always found my way. But no, he gave me a lot of my moveset. He gave me the up and over cartwheel. He gave me the, you know what I mean? So he's given me a lot of my movesets. Well, he gave me I've not done it in a while, like a step up leg drop.
Yeah.
So he's given me a lot of my
So he guided you a lot through the early days.
More than most people think. So yeah, and then the fact that we were able to tear the house down, again, it meant a lot to me. It's my hometown, it's an iconic venue. It's for a championship I've always had in mind. So this is where we had that conversation of, I don't know where we stand with this, because obviously I know there's, that Preston company likes wrestling in Blackpool. Yeah. I know, like you said, Shake's had his fallout. So I don't know if they're at each other's throats. I'm not well out of the view. I don't give a shit. I'm able to But obviously he was doing Winter Gardens, which is phenomenal. So that means, respectfully, we can't use that venue now. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not that guy.
No.
But then he's called us up and saying, "I want you involved with it." I'm like, I can be very arrogant now and say, "Yeah, of course you want me on it." I'm the Blackpool guy that's going to...
Yeah, obviously.
And you've seen the footage from, you know, our wonderful production team, Callum and Jacob, of what they've done. Like, of course you want me on that show. But then it came from, like you said, this is why I don't wrestle for promotions and I don't wrestle anywhere. It's because I'm not a pro wrestler. Do you want me to turn up and do a pro wrestling match for 10 minutes, shake your hand? No. Why don't you get me on a show? I'll bring 100 people in the crowd. I'll bring a production crew. I will promote it like a mother effer on social. I'll get you in the Gazette 4 times in a month. I'll get you on 2 radio stations. We'll create a championship, which is blessed by Kendo Nakasaki. Do you want me to turn up and wrestle, or do you want me to absolutely do something like this? That's why I don't wrestle for companies, unless they have a great vision. I'm not saying I'm great, I'm not saying the man, I'm just saying I'm different and I'm unique.
Well, you turned just to, Rossy, do you want to come and wrestle with me on a show at Winter Gardens? Into one of the most prestigious titles Blackpool has ever seen.
Yeah, it's huge.
On one of the biggest shows, the press conference was massive. Yeah. The production teams.
I took a leaf out of August Artois' book and I listed everything I've done with that title within 2 weeks. And I'm like, holy smokes, like I promoted that better in 2 weeks. That's why I'm proud of what you did with the tag title, because you've done more for that than I've seen. I've done more for that in 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks now, than most people have done in years with their titles. That's a big deal now.
Yeah.
And like you said, for the fact that it's only been, not even defended by the way, it's been contested for once, it's only been introduced to everybody for 4 weeks, and now it's that most important one. We've done a good job of it so far.
And you've got it everywhere. That's the point. That's what
the cool thing was, am I tearing the curtain down? Maybe I am, but I think he said, like, it might be me and you, Ross, at Winter Gardens. I was like, that's pretty cool, because, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because we've wrestled before, because he said, shall we mention that at the press conference? I said, no, don't educate people that we've wrestled before. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then he's like, it needs to be for something. And then I actually suggested a trophy. Why don't you do like a Blackpool trophy? And that's pretty cool, isn't it? And he goes, again, I always fall into the trap of doing his accent. But he goes, I hate trophies in wrestling.
To be fair, I'm not a big fan of trophies.
And I'm like, okay. And he's like, what about for a championship? And I'm like, and I said no. Why? Because I'm like, I don't want to just storm into your company after having this big break, and contest for a championship. I didn't know who was winning, but I was like, I can't just storm in and contest for a championship. I just had to smirk then, because off camera can't see the fact that our kids
they walk past us.
Our kids have just stole the prop box. You can't see that, but I just had to have a cheeky smirk. They've stolen the prop box and they're doing crazy stuff. But yeah, so then he was like, it's for a championship. What should we call it?
Get a notebook out.
I was like, shall we? Because in my head I was like, it was going to be a Rascal thing. It was going to be the Winter Gardens. But I was like, no. In a time where wrestling is selfish, we can't be selfish. No. But I was thinking, I said, what about the Heritage Championship? Oh, I like it. But we'll have a think of other words. So I thought like Legacy Championship. But I always had Heritage. And then I think I can't remember the timeline now, it goes up, but I think he specifically mentioned Blackpool Heritage. I can't remember. He definitely added the United Kingdom. Yeah. I think I was Blackpool Heritage, he was United Kingdom. And I genuinely thought, God bless him, it was going to be like a Timu belt. Like, you know, like a WWE one, but just with a different logo on. So the first time I saw that was a press conference, and when I saw it, I went, "Holy smokes! It's a proper."
Yeah, it's a proper belt.
It's a proper gorgeous belt,
Yeah.
and I was like, not even a belt. That's a terrible word for it. It's a championship title.
I like the white strap as well.
It
Looks
just
really good.
shows prestige.
Yeah.
We're actually getting it in the museum in Blackpool soon, the Showtime Museum. That's where it's going to go.
Oh,
It's
wow.
going to sit for a while. But that's a different story. But that's what we're doing with this.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. So when I saw it, I thought, oh my God, God bless you. Like, that couldn't have been cheap. Because that's when we were discussing, obviously, about show money. How much, you know, I did bring 100 people to watch it.
Exactly.
But the fact that, like you said, I didn't contribute towards that financially at all. I appreciate it. So my show money went right down. I was like, you know what, we're here to work together.
Yeah.
But he does owe me £18 for. I sold a Rascal hat on their merch stand, and I've still not seen my £18. So that's a message. And I've just bought a wrestling ring off him as well.
Well, he's to be fair to him, he's just opened up a school in my hometown.
I know. Did you see that jacket he wore at the Winter Gardens? I called him a crackhead Del Boy. I think the beautiful thing with Shay, because we've been so apart.
Yeah.
Remember, I was a trainee under his coaching guidance. So yeah, I was quite charismatic, but I wasn't on this level. So I think for me to come back at the press conference, and we did a segment before the show, and to be quite witty and charismatic, I think he was like, oh. But he was very proud, because I cracked jokes where there's moments where we were genuinely laughing, like we're supposed to be enemies, but we're actually like, I called him the crackhead Doughboy, and he starts laughing. I said some things about the other companies, and he's like, you know what, we're having a good time now. And there was time in the match as well where, you know what I mean, where we were talking and just having a good time. It was really, really good. Yeah, it was a good moment.
It's nice to see.
And I cried in that match as well. But hopefully there's no footage out there. You know.
I'm pretty sure there's footage of you crying after you'd won it. Stood there.
That wasn't exactly the reason why I cried, but yeah.
Were the real tears?
They were 100%. So I have fake cried a few times in pro wrestling. I think there's two at the top of my head where they were genuine. That was definitely one of them. And then the other one was when our kids' anniversary show #1, where I genuinely thought I retired. Because I thought, right, I've just wrestled what I thought was a great match for the kids, a great story. My heart can't take it no more. So I just started breaking down and crying. But I think most of the other times where I've cried in wrestling has just been...
But it is a part of it. That's what people have to understand. It is a part of it.
You do kind of cry real because you're immersed in the emotions anyway. Like, I captivate the audience, but sometimes I get lost in the emotion.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I just need to let out some more emotion. So
It's very emotional.
Sometimes it's faked, but it's still built on emotion. But that one was more genuine, where I just broke down. Because me and Shake we didn't plan to embrace at the end. So that was all genuine. And whether that pulls the curtain
the
down.
genuine emotions do come to you. Like at the end of my match at Bolton Town Wrestling, the plan was obviously AJ comes pulling back the curtain a little bit. I just lost the match. AJ comes in, comforts me, and I remember being lay on the floor, and he come, I went, I did good, didn't I? I was on my deathbed. I was like, AJ, I did good then, didn't I? It was good. He was like, you did fantastic.
Good.
I like the emotions that I felt in that moment were completely real.
Because you get, like I said, the way you built that match was stunning. That's why I'm super proud of you as one of my students.
Yeah.
Because you do get lost in the stories. Like, I've been lost in loads of stories, again, because I bring the kids along to my journey. And that's what we're capturing with this like mini documentary. Is it's not about me in the match, it's about the kids supporting who they want to support.
They have someone to look up to.
Yeah, but it's strange. Like, I don't have it anymore, because I think I'm more comfortable who I are, but I've lost myself. And there was moments in my life, recently, back 2-3 years ago, where I didn't know who I was. Am I Rascal? Am I Ross? There's people that have only known me since Rascal. There's people that knew me before. And there's times where I just got lost, as in, like, I don't actually know who I am. I don't know if I'm genuinely a nice guy. I don't know what the hell is going on. And then you have your doubts and your imposter syndrome. Now I recognise that I am in this position and I do have to be a hero to them. But as I said earlier, I've finally learned how to show vulnerability, and that's important. Because there was loads of times where I was just like, no, I am a superhero. They can't see me sad. They can't see me upset. Now they do.
But I think that's with children these days. It's better to be open about your emotions, because they learn to be open about their emotions.
Do you know what the beautiful thing is though? There was times where I was like, yeah, I'm the superhero to them, which is great, but I need a superhero.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? It's the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
I've got my superhero. They don't know that.
Yeah.
They might get it, but honestly, there's times where I go home and I'm like, they're my heroes because they make me a better person. They keep me humble. They keep me grounded when I'm having success. They lift me up if I'm a bit, cheesed off or whatever, or stressed because I'm taking on a lot of things. So, yeah, they have a superhero that they can, really respect or maybe feel safe around, but they're my heroes. Every single one of them. Like,
You're going to make me cry now.
Because they have gifted me a wealth of confidence.
Yeah.
So doing something that's 100% out of my comfort zones made me stronger, made me more confident. But they, as an organisation or whatever they are, governing body, they have gifted me a lot.
It's a big achievement. You should be proud of it. Very proud of it.
I am. I'm proud to represent them. Like I said, based on how they have. I think, to be honest, they might have just said, right, Rossy's entering, we might as well just get rid of him. Should we get rid of him? I think that's how it went down. Let's just get rid of him.
Like on Happy Gilmore, where he's constantly going back to trials.
But just keep showing up.
Just keep showing up, it'll happen.
Because at the end of the day, we've got it.
No, it's a fantastic thing to have.
It's really cool. And like I said, the kids, take the mickey out of it, and it keeps me humble. So I love it. I love it.
So we're on to the part, fan questions. So
yes!
I put a post out on Instagram, Facebook. I asked fans to ask questions.
Whose fans? What fans?
Like fans of the academy, like followers. We'll say followers.
Because I'm going to give you one of these. A rascal. Is it a rascalism or whatever it's called? Yeah. We don't call them fans. We call them supporters.
Supporters, right?
Rascal Army.
Rascal Army.
No, the supporters. I don't like the word fans.
Yeah, no, yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
that,
so
we sent questions out. I got some. Some are a bit more.
Are these your only fans?
No.
I'm sorry, go on. I'm sorry.
Some of these are serious, some of them are asking for advice, some are just funny.
Oh, okay.
I picked 5.
Okay.
So the first one's I know this lad actually got into wrestling because he saw me wrestling for I want to do what you're doing, Dec. He's one of my old friends.
Then that's a catalyst.
Yeah.
I love that because you would have seen someone wrestling for I need to he's seen you. I love that.
So it was really good. He's called Mike Ball. But I have just started wrestling training. He just started at Shake's place.
Which one? He's got like
Bolton one because he's from Bolton like me. I'm now thinking about my character and character's name, but I've fallen into a ditch. What's the best way where I can figure out who I should be?
I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
How long have you been training for?
3 weeks.
No rush. Take your time, but I will give you a better answer than that. Don't put pressure on yourself to rush. It took me ages to actually understand what Rascal was. Because I thought, do I have to be a rascal? Crowd didn't take to it. Like a Michelangelo from Turtles.
Yeah.
Crowd didn't take to it. It's only when I started being a little bit myself with the judo that they gravitated towards me. And then the whole nice guy, squeaky clean image was moulded by a good booker and a good promoter that was looking after me. The easy answer is, which again a lot of people misunderstand, don't look at wrestlers for inspiration. I've kind of had this conversation with you. Films, TV series, anything, because if you gravitate towards a character in a film or whatever, you can base it on that. I base again, even though it's me, crank it up to 11 or that, but I base my character on Goku from Dragon Ball Z. And I like watching his stuff because sometimes where I feel like I want to be a bit of a badass or, a bit,
Super Saiyan
he
mode.
keeps me calm because he's, again, what I say, detached, pure-hearted.
Yeah.
Everybody looks up to him. So the best answer I can say is don't look at wrestlers, because if you are inspired by John Cena, you'll just be another John Cena, you'll just be another Chris Jericho, whatever. Look at films for inspiration and who you gravitate towards, TV series, maybe even cartoons. Mine was a cartoon. But with 3 weeks in, do not rush, do not pressure yourself with that. Plus, speak to your coach.
Yeah.
Get guidance and inspiration, and also have faith and trust in your coach. If he's training at top rope at Bolton, he's in good hands.
Yeah.
So I would say just enjoy the journey without putting pressure on yourself, but don't leave it last minute where you will end up with a name like Rossy Rascal.
Might be successful.
I hope to see Mike's journey.
Yeah.
I think you should document it in some way. Obviously, he's a friend of yours, did you say? He said, I'd love to see Mike's journey, and I wish him all the best. I hope he smashes it.
Matt Forwell. Top 5 indie companies that deserve more spotlight.
In which country?
This one. Like, obviously, I'd say
Top 5?
Top 5 companies in this country that you know of that deserve a bit more spotlight.
I can be really lovely, and then I can be really like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. If they're not getting a spotlight, maybe they don't deserve it.
No.
It's up to them to grab the spotlight.
Yeah.
Sounds really mean saying that, but it's up to you to grab the spotlight. Like I said, I'm not interested in grabbing the spotlight. I'm interested in building a community, and it just so happens people are obviously people. There's wrestling companies, promoters, and wrestlers that are on a good platform that have championships that are doing well.
Yeah.
That are jealous of the kids, but I don't feel anything, but the kids have started to notice it. And the kids are noticing people that they once saw as heroes in this industry, or even this town, are seeing it. And that when the kids see it, it's like, I can tell you the top 5 promotions not to wrestle for. I'm going to be biased just based on the relationships I've got with these companies, but I would say, if they're not in the spotlight, they're going to have to find a way to seize it and get it. Rascal's Academy is very biased, but that's based on the fact that we're unique and different.
Yeah.
But the fact that companies now are using our buzzwords and using our blueprint and trying to get better by watching what we do, I'm all for it. And I'm happy to answer advice if people are opening up kids wrestling. Or, you can never compete with me. You can't do what I do, as I said, so don't treat me as competition because I'm not in the pro wrestling lane.
Yeah.
I am not a pro wrestler. I use it as a platform to help children. I am not a pro wrestling company. I am a community that inspires people through storytelling. You can't compete with me with pro wrestling. I've gone off at a tangent, but I think Rascal's Academy, Target doesn't need more spotlight, but in terms of, I love how he treats his trainees or his talent that's come through the school.
Yeah.
He will give them big matches and big spotlights and championship opportunities. He's not just bringing in the top stars and they're getting the main events. He's giving his... So I love Target to pieces for that. Is there any, like... I'm happy to help any company that... If they need shout-outs or anything, I'm happy to do it. But I'm going to give a very mean answer there and just say... No. Go for the spotlight yourself. Grab it, anything you can do. But yeah, no, I don't think any companies need or deserve spotlights. I think we should praise the ones that do collaborations, though. And I think we've kind of encouraged that. So we've just recently done a collab with Top Rope for the Winter Gons, and it's made it extra special. Yeah. We've done collabs with Bolton Town Wrestling to make that extra special. We've done collabs with Target. Everything's more special. Yeah. And it gives variety to your talent. It gives variety to your audience because they've seen the same characters, same storylines. So I think we should just be praising the companies that are open-minded to collab or open-minded to be respectful and not be like, I need to compete with this guy, or I'm scared because they're doing this, or have you seen this guy who's doing this? No, just be open.
Working together and respecting each other builds the business more.
It's rare in wrestling.
It is, yeah.
You'll find like that. That's why, again, I don't really take wrestling that seriously. I don't want to be in bigger companies. Like, that was never the goal. So I'm not fussed like speaking about things that might cause me not to. But yeah, no, it's just a case of there's too much stigma in wrestling now. So just work together, man. Like, just help each other. Help the product.
Sean Ross, what kept you going through injuries and setbacks?
Setback was probably the heart failure. Injuries, I've never really had an injury.
Touch wood. I'll do that for you.
I've had concussion, but give it a day. I had an injury way before wrestling. So in my wrestling career, I've never been injured. So I boast about that. So when you list my accolades, champion this, champion that, I also put never been injured, never hurt anybody. As a brag. Yeah. That's up there with being a champion. Never hurt anybody, never been hurt. That's up there. I brag about that all the time.
Shows you're safe.
I'd say I've got it easy, and this is why we're doing well, is because I can always look at the kids again. So if I ever do get injured and I'm a little bit low, I have something, but I respect not everybody has this. Do you know what I mean? It comes down to how bad you want it, and it comes down to you've got to, again, a bit of a mean answer. You can't feel sorry for yourself, especially in wrestling. Yeah, you got a setback, you got an injury, or something's happened. You can't be a victim.
Yeah.
You've got to say, okay, I've got this. We have, you've seen him, Stephen, that trains with us, cerebral palsy. Never heard him once complain. Never heard him once say, can I try it like this? He does it like everybody else to the best of his ability. And if it's apparent that he can't do it, we'll just find him an alternative.
Switch it up.
So it's one of them, like, injuries suck, especially if you have just started and you had a bit of momentum, or maybe you're carrying a championship or a face of a company and you've just been injured. But you got to find something that keeps you alive. And I'm very blessed and fortunate where I never have a bad day because I've got this. And you got to create something that you can always go to. Do you know what I mean? I guess that's the best. Was it injuries and setbacks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had injuries in judo, sorry. I've had knee injuries where, again, cliche, doctor says you'll never do judo again. That's when I was a brown belt. Rest is history. That came out of stubbornness of proving people wrong, which we never do anymore. We prove people right. So I think what will keep you going through injuries is proving people right, is proving your support system right, is actually looking around and saying, I actually have people that are counting on me. I can't be a victim here and say, woe is me, give me sympathy. I have to take a stand and be like, I've got an injury, let's show people how to overcome this.
Yeah.
And then it's a catalyst.
Yeah.
Take some responsibility is what I'm trying to say.
This one's a bit
That's
funny.
a harsh answer.
This one's a bit funny.
Go for it.
From Zach Travis. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
That's in your top 5?
He said it, apparently it's a tradition, he said. And it
is actually,
I had to ask you it.
We have a thing where every time we bring a guest in for sports camps or whatever, we do a Q&A. And it makes the coach and the guest feel special as well, so it's a smart way to... but that's always the question, because we allow the kids to ask serious ones, like who you're inspired by, and then they'll say... And I was like, I know what they're asking. I will go off at a tangent and say Zach Travis is one of our kid wrestlers who I adore, because he's allowed me to play different personas and actually be a tag wrestler, which I never actually experienced in my wrestling career, really. I've always been the ultimate good guy. Yeah. So he's allowed me to be a heel in a tag team wrestler, and I've had the most fun this year wrestling alongside him. We did like a tag team turmoil, and that was the most fun I've ever had. We did the anniversary. So I adore that kid. That kid can do some cool stuff, and I keep him humble.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
I'm going to ask you that question.
No, it does not.
Shall we create a divide in the comment section? I am going to give you the crap answer and say, I don't care, man.
Yeah.
It's pizza. I'll eat it. No, I am an all the meats, barbecue base, cheese, eat that pizza, let's go for it. But after all these years of kids asking that, I finally tried pineapple and pizza. It's not bad, but I'll never go to it. It's always all the meats. But
I needed to have that one.
So I can't judge people now on it. It tastes alright, but it's a bit weird, isn't it? But
right, last fan question. This is from JD Wadey.
What a name.
That's what she's put on the social media. Fine. JD Wadey. What or who was your inspirations to start wrestling?
We touched on it a little bit, of course, as we said. I would say it was just that promise on that playground where I just took too literally. And then I started watching the wrestlers, and the wrestlers that stood out to me early doors were, I think this was the time where Rey Mysterio was around, Brock Lesnar. My dad, God bless him, didn't like wrestling, but he pretended he liked The Undertaker, so I kind of gravitated. But that was badass Undertaker at the time. And then when it was time to actually have a favourite wrestler, I think it was Lesnar. And then when I eventually grew up, it was John Cena, because I realised exactly who John Cena is and what he does. Yeah. As a kid, I didn't really like the Cena character, but when I grew up, I was like, yeah, I get it.
I personally say there's a few similarities between you and John Cena.
What would you say?
Positive ones.
I'm glad, because to be compared to a man like that is very flattering.
John Cena has the most Make-A-Wish Foundation wishes granted.
I have 0.
But what you do for the children...
You see that comparison.
The mirror.
So I will genuinely say I am no, but I'm very flattered, because that has been mentioned a few times, and it does flatter me because he is a great man. We'll go away from the performance things, he's just a great man. So to be compared to him in any way is very flattering. I've had people chant Timu Cena. Yeah. Best chant ever, and even August Archois calls me UK Cena. Yeah. So the Americans call me UK Cena. And I do take it as a compliment, because that man is a great man.
Right, we'll move into the last section of the interview, just about the future. These are quick questions. Answer them as fast as you want.
I think this is Declan wants to know section.
Yeah.
I think this is Declan needs to know a few things section. Let's do it.
Rumour in the grapevine. You're gonna run for mayor of Blackpool.
Is that a rumour?
Is there any truth behind that?
I will be the mayor of Blackpool one day.
Big step.
The process of that is not as easy as... So people will call me delusional off the bat of that.
Yeah.
Because the process is long. And I'm talking very long. I will be the mayor of Blackpool one day. There's no way in hell it will be any time soon. I've got too much to do. This will be when I'm old and I can't do my athletic stuff. But I am passionate about this town and I'm passionate about what it should be doing and how to represent it. So I'll have to obviously study a lot of things. But again, I spoke to the mayor. The mayor's come here a couple of times and we've met him at loads of award things. And I just asked him, I said, what does it take to become a mayor? Is it worth it? How do you do it? And he was very, very honest. He said, basically, you need to either be super popular or have a lot of money. I went, great, well, I've got no friends. So I was just like, fair enough. And then he gave me the advice in the channels, and he's like, you have to be a councillor for like 10 years, and you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
So it's not an overnight, but
it's not impossible.
It will happen.
It will happen.
It will happen. I will be the mayor of Blackpool one day, but it won't happen anytime. I'm talking like 20, 30 years away.
Right, run this back in 30 years. Declan Rawlinson was here first.
That's it, yes. I'll have my beautiful chain. Sorry, not the mic then, but I'll have a beautiful chain. And yeah, no. But no, like I said, I think, like you said, when the time comes when I'm limited in my goals and what I can do and like giving back, I think that would be a nice...
Shows you have the love for Blackpool.
It's a town that's given me a lot, and a town that's given me a lot of platforms and a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. Florida. So obviously,
Mayor of Florida.
No. So obviously, the relationship now with August Artois over in America.
Mm-hmm.
Will you be going over to America and wrestling in Florida?
This might lead into something else if I say yes or no.
You can leave it open ended.
I want to, and I believe I will do it next year. I want to, and I believe I will next year. Specifically Florida.
Yeah, we'll keep it at that because I don't want to ruin anything.
No, you can say whatever you want, and I know how to play the game.
Yeah.
I know how to play the game. I know how to play the game, but no, it will be Florida. Obviously, with the Jaden Newman and that, you got like Tennessee, Jarrett Diaz in New York and stuff like that. I'd like to wrestle at least twice when I'm over there, not just once. Maybe even do a seminar or something along those lines. You know what I mean? Just at least do a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're very thankful here where I can probably get some sponsorship support as well. But I'm definitely 100% want to wrestle in Florida next year. I have an ideal opponent, which will be match made in heaven. But if that doesn't happen, no big deal. Yeah. It's just the honour of being over there will be great.
That'll be fantastic to see. Right, the future direction of not only the pro shows but the academy itself.
Yep.
What can we expect?
Two differences. So all my effort and energy goes into the community first. So remember, this is also a full-time judo academy. Yep. There's also we support mental health through physical fitness. We are not selfish in using this building. We would like other people to use it for whatever reasons. Maybe get their own content or whatever they need. We've done a lot of filming here recently, which was something I signed an NDA for, which will be released next year.
Yeah, right.
So that's pretty cool, but we're allowing this opportunity to happen. We're allowing cool stuff to happen. So the community side is just, again, the easy answer is continue to provide opportunities for everybody, and I mean everybody. So I'll look around the academy and go, right, okay, is there anything that excludes people? Do we need, more wheelchair-friendly access, for example, or how do we include more people? We do subtle things like when we did the in-ring photos, we then got the star to step out and say, hey, if you want your photo with him but you're not comfortable getting in the ring. Yeah. You see what the subtleties to including everybody. And that's the magic of it. I've been to Disney World and seen what works and you know what I mean, and just been like, oh, that's cool. Now we've got, you know what I mean, now we do things. But we're not Disneyland. I think we're better because we are not princesses that are acting. We are ourselves and kids are gravitating towards it. So yeah, that's a clickbait for you. We're better than Disneyland.
We're better than Disneyland.
The community side always is at the forefront of what I do. So yes, I'm doing side quests, but the community, I'll always say to the kids, no matter where I go, no matter what I'm doing, I call it a side quest because it's fun, but I always have your full attention if you need it. There'll be times where you feel like I'm not giving it you, but I'm always there for you.
So just know that anything I'm doing, we'll always come back to them.
Always
We need a meme of you and side quest.
I've still got a few more. I've got the pantomime, I've got the
Yeah.
photo shoot tomorrow. I've done a lot this month, side quests. I think that's it. I can't really remember. And the pro show.
Pro show side of it.
It's hard to plan fully because I will be brutally honest with you. For Pro Show 8, we've just announced our last match on the card today. In terms of direction and storyline, I think I have 3 options. And I'm not decided which one I want to take.
No.
For one particular match, which you can probably narrow it down to, I have 3 options for. I like all 3 of them. And I genuinely, we're like 4 weeks away, 5 weeks away. Still don't know which one I want.
Still not decided.
So
23rd of November.
It will be a mix of, because the answers are different. It's a mix of what's best for the promotion, what's best for like the community side, what's best for long-term storytelling, and what's best for the ones that deserve it and things like that. So it's a collaboration of which direction do I take in terms of this, that, and engaging, captivating stories, but also honouring the ones that deserve spots and stuff. So. It is stressing me out, I'm not going to lie, it is really stressing me out, and then you might have other circumstances. You know, God forbid anybody gets hurt or injured, that is always a factor.
Yeah.
But again, there was an injury and you stepped in, so sometimes it does benefit others. But yeah, that's my short answer. I have a lot of options. So for next year, our next Pro Show 9, will be the Rascal Rumble again.
Yeah.
So again, there's I'm surrounding it around that. Okay, what direction do we go for that? Well, I actually don't know this one yet.
Yeah.
So that could change. So I've penciled a few shows in, roughly what direction, but I won't know until I put a
Will
stamp.
they continue to be in-house or?
Oh God, yeah. Also, that's a good question. Sorry, yeah, forgive me. So we do them all in-house because you know, obviously we don't have to pay extra rent and stuff. Plus we don't have to move the ring, and it feels special.
Yeah.
We will be doing shows outside of the academy. We will probably do the showcase shows outside of the academy and always bring the pro shows here.
Yeah.
Depends on circumstance, but we respect what we are. We don't need to run before we can walk. We've only done a year of pro shows. We're already doing great, amazing things. Every show's been a sellout so far. This one's close, very close. So I might plug it a bit more. So we're getting there. We are doing a show. I want to say 15th of February, but it's the day after Valentine's Day, so I think it is. Stanley Show Bar. We're doing a showcase show at the Stanley Show Bar in Blackpool.
Oh,
That'll be officially our first show outside of the academy.
Oh, that's big.
So that'd be huge. That'd be incredible. That would be a pro show. Well, it's an adult show.
Yeah,
but it'll be a showcase show.
Oh, that'd be
so
good.
it'll be a good opportunity for the trainees to get involved. So
fantastic.
That'd be awesome.
You heard that here first as well.
Right, exclusive. You get the exclusives.
Right, last one. What is the future hold? What does the future hold for Rossy Rascal?
As a character, as a professional wrestler, as a...
I'll rephrase it. What does the future hold for Rossy Rascal and Ross Goodwin?
Rossy Rascal is a pro wrestler. I'm going to be a bit of a diva. I only want big matches, big arenas. I did like an Instagram Q&A age and he said, who's your dream match like now? And I didn't want to like say the one, I said it's not the opponent, it's the venue. I've always chased venues, not opponents. So Blackpool Tower, last person to ever main event that was the venue. I've always wanted to wrestle in this building, which is a heritage building for Blackpool. You see where we're going with this?
Yeah.
Winter Gardens, that was a venue.
Check that out.
And then there's 2 more, I think, at the top of my head, which I'm not going to announce because, again, there's people out there that like to take things away from me,
exactly.
so why give them that advantage? I'm playing chess, not checkers. But I want to wrestle in places and venues, not... But as I said, I'm not a guy like, Madison Square Garden, Wembley. I'm a very Blackpool Rascal guy. So they have to be Rascal Blackpool specific.
Yeah.
Blackpool Towers, like it's a giveaway. Blackpool Tower, this place is a heritage building, Winter Gardens.
Yeah.
You could probably work out roughly where I want to go. There was a rumour that I was going to buy North Pier. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I'm like, hang on a minute. Can I just check my bank account a second? I might put a bid in. What are you talking about? A real serious rumour. God, I had texts and everything. I thought that was cool. But yeah, no, so that's the future in terms of as a performer.
Yeah.
So I'm very diva-ish where I'll only perform specific places for specific people. I am not money motivated, but I do bring a lot to the table, so I'm not going to just say yes sir, no sir. Plus we've got a beautiful heritage title, which the plans have already changed. In my head, before I won it, I was going to like defend it every show, every time. The type of match and the type of story and the fact that all the footage is still not been released yet, that was too special of a moment where we can't just defend that against anybody. the stuff I've done for this town, the stuff I've done in pro wrestling in 5 years, and the things, do you know what I mean, that we did for this match. I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like you have to prove yourself to wrestle for that. Based on what I've done for this town and based on what I've done for that title already. It's like, I need people to step up now and prove that. Get me out of bed, basically.
Yeah, it gives them a reason to step up.
I feel like that lazy guy now, where it's like, you have to drag me out of bed now for something. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be arrogant with that, but that's how I feel now. So I have a few dates booked for next year, but obviously the pro shows, I don't really wrestle on them, but when I'm needed, I do, like the heel turn, things like that. So when I'm needed, I might be down the line. But as a performer, it's just venues I'm chasing. As me, oh man, I'm trying to live in the moment a bit more, because there's times where I'll turn up and coach the kids, but then I'm thinking about I need to get a task done later tonight. I'm doing better at not doing that. I just want to live in the moment more and enjoy what we've got. But I do respect, again, you got the mix of we need to continue to grow. There's people out there that will take it away from me. And I have that mentality of if I'm resting, they're working. Yeah. That's unhealthy though, that's unhealthy. But that's where we're at. So I have a few fun side quests, but I'm still working towards, but again, the community, the kids have my best interests. So I play so many hats. I'm a coach to some people, I you know what I mean? I don't know what else.
A model?
Yeah.
A model with a sash.
It's like that song, innit? You know, I'm a joker, I'm a smoker. You know what I mean? So no, I have obligations.
Yeah.
I have roles to play. I'm a coach. I am, like you said, I'm you know what I mean, I'm a sparring partner, goodness me, I'm a wrestler on a show, I'm a promoter. If you want to put it that way, I'm a different...
Yeah.
So I have different responsibilities, but I take each one as full-time. Each one is a full-time responsibility, not just, 20-second coach or, I'm a wrestler today. No, it's a full-time, I'm everything.
Yeah.
So it's weird, man.
Well, a lot of stuff to look forward to, a lot of exciting
A
lot of side quests. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today.
My pleasure.
Thank you for this interview. I really appreciate it.
It was good fun, man.
Thank you for your
so
time.
much.
And thank you everybody for watching. This was Ross Goodwin, The Life of a Rascal.